All right, here we go. Boom. We are live.
Let's.
Today, I have my friend Viva back on the channel. After you haven't been on for a long time,
For
Viva.
it's been
It's been a while.
a month at least for sure.
So, have you? What are you thinking about the Amber Heard?
Hold on a second.
What's his name? Johnny Depp madness. All right, Viva, I can't hear you now.
No, that because I
right.
accidentally had the stream running in the background. What do I think of this? Well, in as much as I'm allowed to talk about it, because nobody wants us talking about the stupid stuff. I started off thinking Johnny Depp was going to come out of this dirtier and more sullied, and thus far, it's not because I started off on Team Amber, but I think her testimony doesn't make sense, and we'll see it. I haven't seen the original stuff that you're going to compare it to. Her testimony doesn't make sense.
All right, well, you got bad feelings about it. It's interesting because I'm still trying to keep an open mind, but today I was like, well, let me see, who's because how they have the Justice for Johnny Depp group. So I pulled out their best, what I think is their best 4 arguments that Amber Heard is not telling the truth on the stand. So there may be some other ones in chat. Let me know if I haven't found the best, but I think I found the best 4 that I've looked at. I said, that's interesting. But I want to see if they'll change your perception, if they'll put you over the top. What do you think?
Well, so everybody knows I started off thinking that Johnny Depp probably in some drug-induced stupor or drug-induced like mania probably did bad things to Amber Heard. From her own testimony, it's so, I won't say outlandish, but over the top based on the evidence submitted. I'm now inclined to think that Johnny Depp, he's a drug addict. He has his own addiction problems, but none of which translated into overt domestic violence, certainly not to the degree to which Amber Heard testified on Thursday.
Oh yeah. But let's let the evidence test her credibility. So first, we're going to look at the deposition that she first gave, and she's going to describe an incident between her and Johnny Depp. And the question that she's answering in this deposition is, has she ever hit Johnny Depp? This is what she's.
But just to contextualize it, this deposition is in the context of which lawsuit? It's the UK lawsuit, right?
Yeah, but she is under oath, though. Yeah, I think it's the UK lawsuit, but she is under oath. Yeah,
this is in the lawsuit where she's not a direct defendant. The question is whether or not her allegations of domestic violence were sufficiently substantiated by the what was it? The Sun. It was it was a UK decision. Bottom line, she's not a direct defendant, so that's a context. She's under oath, but she's not a defendant or party to the suit.
All right, yeah. Here we go.
He was about to push my sister down the stairs. She was attempting to break us up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on the top of a flight of stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be. And I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done. I acted defensively in her life. I saw her standing on top of a flight of stairs and trying to interrupt a fight in between him and I. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her. But I would have done anything. I would have done anything to prevent her from being pushed down a flight of stairs.
Now, I'm stopping it here because I want to ask you one question. How did she hit him?
She put her body between the two of them. There was no testimony of striking Johnny Depp.
No testimony of her striking Johnny Depp. Not any, right?
Not any. But what I would notice is someone picked up on the erratic blinking. She goes like this. When she does the erratic blinking, I think it's when she's making something up. But what do I know? But no testimony of striking anybody.
A couple of things that to make note of, I think, in here. She said she didn't know what she did. She didn't know that, she just threw her body and flailed. She didn't know what part of the body that link kind of landed in between them, right? She just knew he was going to push her sister down the stairs. So she just threw her body in between, and whatever happened, happened. No, we don't know if she punched him. There's no striking. We hear nothing about any of that, right? That's kind of the story that she just told. Do you think that's a fair characterization of her story?
Oh yeah, no, and she would have protected her sister. And I'm only comparing the one thing that I've noticed in this testimony: the snarl, contempt of her face, which she did not have back in that day.
And I also want to ask you too, what does she say about Johnny Depp? What does she say that he does?
I don't know, actually. She said that there was a confrontation and she was protecting her sister. There was no specific allegations of what Johnny did to her sister.
Just was like, being close to pushing her down the stairs, so she really didn't contextualize what he was doing, right? She jumped between the fight. It was really, really messy. So now let's listen to what she said on the stand a couple of days ago. So this is what she said on the stand. Here we go.
Brief struggle we had before we kind of break away. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like
they're going
a line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him. Square in the face.
Truthful testimony?
Nate, I'm trying not to use
the truth.
It's pathological. First of all, funny thing I just noticed now, there's a Starbucks cup conveniently placed between Johnny Depp and his attorney. It's pathological. It's pathological.
Do you think she's telling the truth? Fair question.
She is telling the truth. She hit Johnny that time. Where she's not telling the truth is it was the first time she landed a blow, not the first time that she swung at him or tried to hit him or maybe did hit him in another part of the body. It was the first time she landed a blow in his face. No,
if I can prove to you that that's not even true, that's the first time she landed a blow to his face, would that convince you she's lying?
If you could show that was not the first time she confirmed having landed, I have no doubt it's not.
But if I can confirm it, matter of fact, I'm going to have her say it. Would that shock you if I can prove to you with Amber Heard say? Matter of fact, I'm going to show you she said it that same day during that same testimony.
I'll tell you one thing.
If I can prove it to you, what would you give me?
Well, I'll give you nothing except the fact that you'll be called out by mainstream media as supporting incels. You're supporting the male Johnny versus. Let's hear it, because I know that when she said it was the first time I landed a blow, that was deliberately misleading language.
All right, so here is what she said. I'll have it played one more time so we can all hear it. Here it is. Fast forward it.
But by the way, she's much more polished of a witness now than she was back then. She might have been more honest back then because she didn't remember it. Now she remembers details that never happened or that happened so often.
I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him.
So now, timeline is important here. That happened. That was after they came back from Australia. So this is not, so Australia is where Johnny's finger got cut off. This is when they came back. They came back from Australia when she's giving that story about the whole push down the stairs. So that's after Australia. So now, as you know, when it was, she's giving her testimony in a timeline. So this is, so she said that at actually 6 hours into her testimony. 4 hours into her testimony, she actually talks about when she first came to Australia. So now I'm going to show you, this is the 4 hour mark in her testimony. And she's going to talk about when she came to Australia. And this is what she says.
This is 2 hours earlier, the same
Kind of
day.
moving in that area. We're kind of moving in that area.
About
Bashing
hitting
me against the
Johnny.
wall next to the fridge. We're kind of moving in that area. And at some point, I'm in his face.
So much snarling.
I don't know if he had let go of my neck or loosened my grip, but I remember slapping him across the face, screaming at him, screaming at me. I got my hand free when he tried to grab me when I walked off.
So this is when she was, so this is 2 hours before in her testimony. So that's me fast forwarding it to the next part. So it's like she didn't even remember that 2 hours earlier she said that he slapped her, that she slapped him.
Here's why, and I'm not saying this to be demeaning, degrading, or she doesn't consider slapping to be the same thing as punching, which is why I'm convinced that a lot of the abuse that she probably inflicted on Johnny, she doesn't even consider to be abuse in the first place. Open hand slapping a man to a woman is not hitting him in the face. A punch is. But she's going to get annihilated on cross, and they've got a week and a half, Nate, to do what you did in a day, and they know that. I mean, it's going to be an annihilation.
Listen, people, we just halfway through. That was like the first two, and they crazy, right? The first two is insane.
First time I jumped. The way she described the incident with her sister under oath this time was the diametric opposition to what she described the last time. She got in between last time. Now her sister got in between this time.
The first, I told you, this thing is, this is crazy. This is crazy. And again, I told you, it's like these are the top four. There's like a whole bunch of, it's a whole lot more out there. These were just like the top four. I was like, these are like really convincing. So what do you think about the first two, Viva? Do you think they were convincing, or do you think they're not so convincing?
Like my grandmother always said it, to be a good liar, you have to have a good memory. And like, this is the stories, you don't gain details after being under oath. You might lose details, and that might be more understandable. But to come up with fresh, vivid, first time I ever landed a blow. First of all, 2 hours earlier. No, it's going to be an outlandishly gruesome cross-examination. And it's not, I had nothing against Amber Heard until actually her testimony now, when she testified to the most egregious forms of violence you could imagine, and then offered, landscape photographs as evidence. I hadn't seen her original deposition. It's nuts. It's crazy.
Yes. It's insane, because I don't think it's like she's almost desperate to just sell the story, no matter what the truth is. And these things are out there. Like this is not hard to find, And again, this is the top four of like 15 or something like that. It's like crazy. I couldn't play all 15 because I kind of felt bad. I was like, damn, that's just so many.
Well, but then
people think I'm after the poor woman.
Well, no, but you might not be, but the Johnny Depp's team is. The question is, do you go after 15, like 4 strong and 11 soft, or do you just pick the top 5 and then try not to dilute the good ones down? Because she struck him. It was the first time I ever landed a blow. First of all, I had questions on that testimony before even seeing this. First time I ever landed a blow, not the first time she ever swung, tried to hit him, tried to do something, whatever. But she doesn't consider a slap to be landing. So I'd like to know, how many times did you slap him? That's not landing. How did you do that? So let's hear that.
Well, the next one on the list is, hold on. All right,
I'm
so
put myself on mute so that you don't hear the echo. But
all right, so number three. Let me read the super chat. Do you find it weird how she keeps saying everything directly to the jury instead of talking to the people asking her questions? Yes, that is pretty strange. Amber Heard, Haunted Farmer, $10. Thank you. Amber Heard is the reason the crazy hot scale exists. Yes. There's not enough hot in the world to make her level of crazy worth it. Thanks for the content, guys.
I'm Hauntus. It's good to see you again. I'm a simpler person. I don't find any physical beauty to be that degree of awesomeness. Her features are perfect. Her features are good. But my goodness, I look in the eyes of the window to the soul.
This is some interesting stuff. Yep. She is broken. She is a broken individual that will never take responsibility for her bad acts. The only way she will ever convince me that she is not lying liar that lies is if she stands up and angelic wings on the stand.
We know Britt Cormier is a good, he's a dedicated follower to all of us.
Yeah,
right. She's a broken human. She's as pathological as Jussie Smollett. She's pathological like Jussie Smollett.
So you're convinced already. I don't even have to show you the next one. You're convinced. You're convinced.
This is not to be demeaning to domestic violence. Period. Full stop. When she testified to the degree of the alleged domestic violence, he held her down and struck her face repeatedly. You know, the bottle up to her pelvis bone. She didn't know if it was broken. She had bloodied arms and feet, and then showed landscape and then some arguable bruises on her face. Then this is just like throw out the worst accusations possible and hope no one realizes you didn't substantiate it with any evidence. It's terrible.
Yeah. It's woo. All right, let's get to the next one because it's crazy because this is just simple stuff like timeline stuff. Like you can't get your timeline right, and then you milk it up yourself. Well, what do you mean by smacks? Do you know you messed up here? Do you know? And the more you get those little mess ups, the more your credibility. And again, this is just a credibility case, right? Who do you believe? Do you believe her or do you believe him? That's what it's going to come down to because he's saying I didn't abuse her. She's lying. She's saying he did.
One thing is clear. I've got to go watch Gone Girl because I haven't seen it yet. But the bottom line is this. People are going to say, well, she's got PTSD. You obviously follow the timelines. That would be true standalone on its own. The problem is this. She testified under oath. She's made sworn statements. And she had as much PTSD then as she does now. So PTSD is not an excuse to forget that which you said earlier or to create things which you didn't say earlier. So that PTSD excuse argument is not going to go very far when she's making up facts or at least adding facts. The most egregious, soul-crushing, scar-leaving facts, physical and spiritual ever, that she did not mention back in the UK. So the PTSD excuse is not going to cut it.
Red Cormier, thank you again. P.S. on the angelic wings. I do not even believe in angels and demons. However, she is making demons more believable every day she testifies.
Jesus.
Thank you.
A movie I saw with my first girlfriend, Angels and Demons. I that just popped back into my head.
That's a Nick Cage movie, right? Isn't that a Nick Cage movie?
No, it was. I remember it's 1996 or 95. I can remember that much, but not much more than that.
Fiona says, I think she's intimidated or intimidated or agitated by intelligent, attractive women. Would suit the personality disorder. Dr. Curry and Camille may be intentionally. Let me see. What did it say? I don't know. I can't see it. Intentional choices to irritate her. Yeah.
I'm not sure. First of all, I didn't even notice Johnny's attorney is attractive. I tell you that part of my brain turned off. I didn't even notice it, and I still don't notice it. But by all accounts, Johnny Depp's attorney is attractive. It's an interesting theory, especially if Johnny, if according to her, she says that Johnny was accusing her of being attracted to other women. It's an interesting theory.
All right.
This is
on my screen. All right, this is
no comment.
This is why you warn your sons not to date the crazy one, crazy wacky chicks. Yes, that's true. That's true. Thank you for becoming a member. All right, so but for what now? Since I've read through some super chats, let's go back to the show. All right, so where we at?
You do know the trick about starring them, right?
Yeah, I've been starring them.
Okay, cool.
I've been starring them. Did I miss something? Because you can see the ones I start too, right? Like when I start them? No.
Can I see the ones that
like if I start it, it should change for you too, because on the box you should go up to shared. Oh,
yeah, I don't think so. But anyways, I thought you're doing it.
I got it. It's tough. That's why I know with Alita, she has somebody in the background, so that's actually good because somebody else is starring them when she does it. So I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. All right. And now I got to do quality control on the video. All right. Oh, matter of fact, here's an extra one too I pulled out. So this is like the honorable mention. So the honorable mention is this is her deposition again, under oath, different case, but she's still under oath, and this is her talking about her police interaction, and why, and if the police saw something on her face.
Johnny Depp had ever done anything wrong to you? That night or before?
You're asking me if I told them.
If you told them on May 21, yes.
Watch the blinking. Watch the blinking.
I said to them, I decline to give any statement at this time as per the advice of my counsel.
Did the police?
They did make a comment to me about it seeming unsafe. That's why they needed to check the apartment. They made a gesture to my face. They said that I looked hurt. They also pulled me aside and said, look, just say a statement. We can make sure you're safe. Just say a statement or give us a statement and we'll go get the guy. And they said the exact
right there.
Same thing.
Right there.
Is it your testimony that a police officer on May 21 told you that it appeared you looked hurt?
He or she gestured, I can't remember which one, to my face and said, we can tell you've been hurt or you don't look good or something to that effect, but I don't remember the exact words they used.
But something to that effect?
Yeah.
Now, what's wrong with that? Well, first, we got the police officer who you're about to hear from straight and direct. The police officer that talked to her directly. That's who you're going to hear from. And that police officer is going to tell you what they saw. But also, the police officers testified that if they felt like there were injuries or they went to the house and it was in disarray, they would have had to write a police report.
Yeah,
to see why them. So now the police officers explain to them the policy. If we see anything amiss, we got to write a police report. And the police officers are going to explain to the attorney why they didn't write a police report. Here we go right now.
Can you pull that one back up again? That video?
The one that I just played?
Yeah, the one that you just played out. And I want because I'm putting my stuff on mute while you do this. Her body language right now is exquisitely Jen Psaki. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm saying that to say she's lying. But then it's like, I don't know. Just like watch this body language. It's exquisitely Jen Psaki. In fact, she even looks like Jen Psaki here. Look at the way she moves her hands.
I don't know about the Jen Psaki, but
press play for 1 second.
He or she gestured, I can't remember which one, to my face and said, we can tell you've been hurt or you don't look good or something to that effect, but I don't remember the exact words they used.
But something to that effect?
Yeah.
Bear in mind that in comparing this to her testimony on Thursday, she was bleeding from the lip, got on the wall. He held her down, struck her repeatedly to the face. Of course, she had no pictures for it except for the one picture of the day she went on James Corden and had no visible marks. But she looks radically different in that deposition than she does today. She looks radically
than she does today. Yes. But now let's hear from the officers who were at the scene, why they did not file a police report.
I remember this. This was when she had the hair like Princess Leia up.
Yep.
Can you imagine? We got 3 clips, 3 radically different hairdos. Oh,
And how in the hallway? How far were you standing from Ms. Heard?
It was close, probably like 2 to 5 feet.
Okay. And at that time, did you notice any injuries on Ms. Heard?
I did not.
Okay. Were you looking to see if she had any injuries at that time?
Yes, I was.
yes, I was. Yes, I was. A cop.
So you were looking to see if Ms. Heard had any injuries, and you determined
Whose
that
lawyer
she
is
did not.
this?
Is that accurate?
Correct.
And was the lighting good enough in the hallway for you to make that determination?
Yes, the hallways was well lit.
And at the time, were you wearing any sort of corrective lenses?
I was not.
Corrective lens glasses. The hell is that?
Although you were not wearing corrective lenses, were you prescribed corrective lenses at the time?
No, I have never worn glasses, and I'm not prescribed. I have good vision.
Okay. And at that time, did you have good vision?
Yes, I did.
At the time,
Nate,
you were
which lawyer? This is
observing
Johnny
Ms. Heard.
Depp's lawyer asking the
Did
question,
you have good
or
vision?
Yes, I did.
Depp's lawyer.
And did you observe any injuries at that time?
I did not.
That's it. What do you think?
no? I'm back on.
I think we lost
might
Viva.
lose-
I think we're losing Viva.
Oh, there
The
we go.
Matrix
Okay.
has got him. All right, are you back?
Am I on camera right now?
I hear you, but
Oh,
I
wait,
don't
don't. Come
see
on.
ya.
Let's refresh this here. Boom.
That's all right. Viva will be back. While he's hanging out, let me get some super chats. So I've shown you a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot everybody just saw. Let me know how you feel about it. Hold on. We got Viva back.
Did you
Boom,
hear me
Viva.
swearing in French? Nobody heard me swearing in French.
No. It was, we heard nothing. We heard nothing.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me take those many super chats. I was like, oh, let me take this. You're back pretty quick. All right. So we ended off with Brett. Here we go. These audio recordings of Dr. Hiccup telling the house nurse, I'm not going to let you listen. WH Asian, I am not going to let you spoil it because that's up next. We're going to listen to some audio. We're going to see. All right. So just so people understand, what's coming up next is Amber Heard described what happened after Johnny Depp's finger was severed, but I think she forgot that there's audio of what actually happened. So first we're going to listen to what she says happened, and then we're going to listen to the audio of what actually happened. And I want you to tell me if they're even remotely similar.
Let me feel this one for Danny.
Go ahead.
There's a 5% chance the lawyers fumbled across. They have a week and a half to prepare for it. They have a week and a half to scrutinize the interwebs. They are not bound by any listening to the news. They're going to go to Alita. They're going to go to Nate. They're going to go to Emily B. Baker. They're going to get this crap because the aggregate knowledge of the internet, they might be very smart attorneys. They're not going to blow this up. They're going to blow this up. They're not going to mess this up. They're going to blow this up. This is going to be... Can't wait for Cross. Can't wait for Cross.
Cross is going to be good. Wait a minute. Not having pictures means something didn't happen? No one said that.
Well, let me flip this on 63 Rambler. Having pictures of nothing happening when you claim that things worse than that did happen and you don't have pictures of those things means that it didn't happen. She's claiming that she was savagely abused by Johnny Depp. She took the time to take pictures of him passed out, sleeping in his chair, multiple pictures, landscape pictures, pictures of lampshades, but no pictures of her personal injury, save and except for 2 photos, a bruise and arguably bruised eyes. If you say someone did the things that she says Johnny did to her, and you have no pictures for it, but you have 3 pictures of him sleeping, it means it didn't happen, in my mind. If I'm an attorney.
Let me see. Where did Amber Heard hire her lawyers? From from Wish? No, those they're good attorneys. You know, you got it all depends on the case. Unfortunately, as a victim of abuse, there is no way she's been a victim. Oh man, so I'm sorry to hear that. To discuss these things that happen to you are frightening and nauseating. I can just imagine.
And also Janet, she testified on these things in the UK case. I mean, it wasn't as direct because she wasn't a party, but none of the same memories. I mean, that's, you don't appreciate you suppress memories, but you don't create them out of whole cloth.
But not even remembering that it wasn't you who did something. Like, you know, she's very confidently saying, I didn't do, you know, I don't know what would happen. And then now, so all of a sudden, not only does she know what happened, she knows extra stuff, right? He also swung at my sister. It's like it's almost like it's fair to say it could be made up, right?
And by the way, and
unless she just recovered from that traumatic amnesia, you know, 20 years later and remembers the story differently. I don't know.
But and also to 63 Ramblers, like not having pictures doesn't mean it didn't happen. Police visited, did not take pictures, did not file a report, no doctor's report. Nothing to substantiate what she's saying except, you know, pictures of Johnny sleeping and then 2 pictures of a bruise and a bruised forehead, apparently. But yeah,
it's you know, I think no matter what happens, the story, this story is worse because I think it is going to have that effect where stories are going to be scrutinized more because this is starting to become outrageous. You know what I mean?
A bottle up the vagina, up the privates, up to the pelvis bone, where she didn't know if the bottle was broken, where she has bleeding feet, bleeding arms, and then no pictures of that, but a picture of Johnny Depp dozing off on the floor in Tokyo. I mean, yeah, you have to shut off a part of your brain not to ask those questions. And it's not a question of being cynical or denying women's whatever. It's just being reasonable.
I think Viva's gone. He will be back. There he is. There you go. I was like, Viva's gone, but you'll be back. All right, long before cancel culture.
The connection's going to be bad, but
it's all right. Long before cancel culture was a thing, I had a false claim laid against me. I have female friends that were victims of DV. A turd inspires the most intense hatred in us. I definitely understand that. Well, one thing I want to do now is hold on.
Yeah, you got the big one coming.
1 second. Yeah, this is the monster. This one is the monster. Hold on. All right, I killed that cue. StreamYard, you guys got to make this easier. They make it so hard on the back end because you have to start it, but then you have to go to the next screen to clear it. Then you got to so. This is why I have to learn from Alita. Alita's got it all worked out. And thank you guys for also being so generous. And sorry for my being old and not as computer savvy as I used to be.
You're a boomer, and that's what people like about this.
Right. I'm an old guy on a young man's computer. All right, here we go. So our last piece of evidence that convinced me, because I showed you the 3. So here's number 4. So number 4 is 2 things. First, here comes Kurt. Kurt, what's up, there, brother?
Hello, how's it going?
What's going on? I'm doing all right.
I'm gonna massage Kurt right now.
8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock for you, right?
It's 8:41.
8:41, baby.
Yes.
Central Standard Time.
Yes. It's a beautiful day here in Austin. Warm, sunny. It's everything I came here for.
It was raining all day today in NYC. So
less of that here, man. I'll tell you what.
I caught
I heard.
Since you just popped in, what did you think of the evidence that's been put out?
Leaves a little bit to be desired. It leaves a little bit to be desired. Amber Heard's making these very grandiose claims, And she's surrounded by people all the time, and no one is taking photos. No one really seems to be seeing these things. The people on the plane don't see things. I mean, if it were just some physical violence, okay, but she's like, my personal favorite was when Johnny Depp is on top of her, on top of the table, and just wailing on her, because I would think that would leave quite a few bruises, but no. So
holding her down by the arms, repeatedly striking her in the face.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But she's able to be on a talk show the next day. No worse to wear.
And that, no, it's for her photos on James Corden, and then on the interwebs, someone else posted a picture that week as well, eating out at a sushi restaurant, no makeup and nothing.
Well, I mean, to some degree, I don't know why they went this way, and I don't know whether or not Amber Heard is going against her counsel's advice, because I think that the way to go here is like to undersell it. Yep. Like if you're trying to, because I thought they did such a great job on Johnny Depp's direct, extracting from him what I thought they needed to extract. He had this great, basically, line saying, emotional abuse is at times worse than the physical abuse, referring to his mother. When I was on the receiving end of that, the emotional abuse was worse. So it's like, okay, we've at least got the concept that domestic abuse can include the verbal, and the verbal might even be worse than the physical. So if she had come in with a softer set of claims about him yelling, about him running tantrums, about stuff like, well, we have video that, depicts that. We have video of him acting in ways that could be perceived as that. So if she had come in with a softer set of claims, maybe, but she's come in with these huge claims, and it's just, it doesn't make any sense, Viva. I don't know why she's doing this.
Kurt, I hate to disagree with Kurt. No, sorry. I hate to agree with Kurt. I'm joking. I don't mind disagreeing at all. It's 1,000%. I started asking questions when she was referencing the cavity search for his cocaine. I was like, dude, that doesn't just happen. You don't just do that and walk away from that. No pun intended. Then it gets into bottles in the privates, which is that's like American Psycho level stuff. I mean, and I'm not saying this to be fun. And that leaves physical. That leads to doctor's reports, and she doesn't.
One would imagine. And as I did in my own channel, where I did this 8-minute clip from a live stream, I was like, this is 5 years after Pirates of the Caribbean, where they first meet. Johnny Depp is a little bit notable. People have a tendency to follow him around and wait for him to get out of cars and get off of planes and take photographs and stuff like that. An endless number of people wanting to get the juice for whatever tabloid that they're working for. He's surrounded by people, security guards, butlers, whatever. She's surrounded by people, her own nurse, her own staff. They're always on sets all the time, surrounded by people.
Well,
when they're on planes, they're surrounded by people, and no one really can corroborate this. So I mean,
hold on.
The testimony that is going to come in would have to be unbelievable, because at this point,
Kurt,
I want more than 1 or 2 or 3 witnesses who say, "Oh yeah, maybe I saw Johnny Depp headbutt her." I'm going to want a lot more, and I don't think she has it.
I got this, Kurt.
Yeah,
I do want to ask you: Have you been watching the stream? Have you seen the first 3 pieces?
A little bit.
Of
I've been
evidence?
watching it a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Because I was going to ask you, what did you think of it? Are they convincing to you that there's something up with the story?
See, at least for me, I don't even need to reach those kinds of conclusions, because even within the scope of the trial, it's all gone to hell. So it's like there's inconsistencies there, but some of those inconsistencies, maybe you could excuse some of those inconsistencies, with the details, but he wailed on me with relentless passion is a bit hard to square away.
Well, you know what? Let's do this. Here is her. Oh, go ahead, Viva. I'm sorry.
No. Only one thing. It's the bottle in the privates, which she thought might have been broken because there were broken balls on the ground. She had cuts on her feet, cuts on her arms. I mean, you took a picture of a lampshade and you took a picture of Johnny Depp dozing off, but not of the sliced up base of your feet or your arms.
Right.
It's not just incredulous may not be the word. It's unbelievable in the sense of it cannot be believed.
It is literally incredible. Yeah. The butler who's there, King, He's like, do you see bloody footprints? No. Did she look like she'd been hit? No. Okay. So either massive giant conspiracy or she's lying.
No, and we've seen Johnny Depp's witnesses. Like, if you thought they were bought with testimony, like
All of
uncredited
them?
witnesses,
That's a lot of buying, man.
the Irish guy, the security guy, Amber Heard's own former whoever she was,
The former nurse, the one she paid. They're all in on it. It's all a massive conspiracy.
It is not believable, and she has not even provided one. It's like she thought she'd get away with the big lie by showing a photograph of the small lie or the.
See, why not come out with a small lie? You could have actually proven the small lie.
I would agree with you there. Like, if she said he slapped me and it was so degrading, that's all you needed.
Yeah, he slapped me. He used aggressive language at me. He grabbed me by the arm. I mean, we have evidence to support those propositions. Why not just come in with something simpler?
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to justify all this? I don't know. I don't see that really working. Yeah.
Nate, what's the big one, Nate? You're on.
Sorry, I'm muted. Yep. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let me play it. Share screen. This wasn't working for a second.
Hold on a second. I love reading the chat as we go through this, but it went.
Here we go. All right, so this is Amber Heard. This is the last time she testified. Now, what she's going to testify to in this clip is directly after the finger incident. So what I've done is I've taken her description of the finger incident and I've matched it to the recording, to when the recording starts. So the recording starts when people come into the house. So you can hear people come into the house, and that's when the recording starts of what happened after the severed finger incident. So this is her description from that point on. So we're going to listen to what she says happens first, and then we're going to listen to the recording to see if what she says matches with what we hear in the recording. Fair enough?
You've done your homework, Nate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sick with this. Let's do it.
And one of the nurses, shortly after, I think they put me in the theater room, but shortly after, I remember talking to one of the nurses, and she was trying to give me drugs to sedate
Objection,
me.
Your Honor. Hearsay. Trying to give her drugs. She didn't say anything.
I don't understand how that's hearsay, but
and
because she was about to say why the nurse was doing it,
remember,
like because she learned that from the nurse.
I just remember crying and rejecting what they were trying to give me and fighting with them about how much they were trying to give me. I felt like I needed to
that eye
figure out
movement.
what was happening with my life, what was happening with Johnny. I didn't know if he was okay. I didn't know. I actually had no idea, like, could this be something he could die from? If anything, just the drugs and the alcohol. I mean, that alone, I didn't, I just remember being scared and being in this theater room, this dark theater room, and not knowing what the heck was going on.
I don't believe a word
I eventually was taken up to my room by one of the nurses, and they, I'm sorry, Debbie, and or suggesting I go up to my room. I went up to my room, and I took a quarter of what she was trying to get me to take, and
she measured a quarter.
I eventually fell asleep.
So that's her story afterwards, right? After they got there, blah, blah, blah. They put her in some place. It was dark. Then they chassised her up to take a pillow and a quarter of a sleep. Believable story, right? I believe it. I believe her.
I feel like asshole. I don't believe a word she's saying anymore, because the thing is, I don't believe a word she's saying. She's like, she realizes that she had to throw in a detail as to what she forgot to include in the original testimony.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here
but
is.
I feel bad not believing a person, but comes off as a liar, but I don't know. Okay, what do you have to? What do you have to
so now here is the second. Here is the audio. Now here is the secretly recorded audio from. I believe this is actually Amber's team, which is kind of crazy. But this is from channel. I want to give this channel a shout out before I play their audio. The channel name is Incredibly Average. Got 119,000 subs. I'll put the link in the description.
What's the channel name? What's the channel?
Incredibly Average.
No, but like, what is the name?
I'm done. I like it.
Funny.
Yes. Let me see it. But yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the description. It's been following this stuff like religiously, and everybody's been using his clips. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So I'm going to use it too, and we're gonna get some very good commentary with it. But here it is. So this is a secret recording that was made, and this is after the finger thing happened and the doctor and everybody hits the house.
Who made the secret recording?
They don't know. Okay. Johnny, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Do we not hear anything, or do I not hear it?
No, you didn't hear it.
Okay.
Fucking understood what you are and who you are and how you fucked me over and make me feel sick of myself.
Uncomfortable.
That's Dr. Kipper. Remember she said Dr. Kipper showed up? That's him showing up. You're going to need a skin graft. She did this. Look, Ben.
I like the nurse emoji.
Yo, Yo, the nurse is freaking out. The nurse is freaking out. She's like, holy.
It's like we did our what's it called? The first aid courses. They said, like, you notice you never see ambulance drivers running to a scene. Like, they're always walking slowly, regardless of what's going on. When you hear a nurse say, holy fuck, like, it's going down.
It just got real. It just got real.
And to be totally, like, fair, I don't believe Johnny Depp saying she did this to me. He might have done it to himself, and he's drunk and he's on drugs, and he's like, I don't want to explain that I did this to myself, so I'll blame her. Very plausible as well.
That's true. That's true. Here we go.
Here too. So I just so you know,
I'm sure Nathan. I just want to hang.
Like none of this is proof that Amber did it.
The majority of the blood, Debbie, is downstairs, but I went through that really carefully. Oh wait.
Oh, Amber's on this. You'll hear it.
They went through the blood looking for the bone in the fingertip.
Yeah.
Amber. You're going to need a skin graft. He's like, yeah.
He's not going to need a skin graft for that anyhow. But not that I'm a doctor.
My reasoning, which maybe wrong,
That guy is a doctor.
Guaranteed.
I looked at it really carefully. Dad's down there. He couldn't see it either. Didn't find it. Oh.
She's in.
All right. There.
In the trash.
My advice. We're going to take care of themselves. We're going to take care of them. They can't be together now since the So, however, Amber, I think she should be in Los Angeles. And this guy runs stores. And this is not going to be 2 days. It's 2 days.
I'm curious how they know that that's Amber stomping away, but it's not in the trash.
Quiet in the background.
She has choices. She's free.
I mean, I know. I don't need to validate what you're saying.
No, but I'm just wondering if there's another person. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I asked those same questions earlier.
Who's hitting what in the background?
I'm going with Amber.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, is there a trash that has bandages in it?
All right, so I'm just saying, but before we get through the rest of this, is it sounding like Amber's story is holding up with the tape?
Kurt, you want to go first?
Because we got a lot more tape to go.
I don't really have an opinion at this point.
We still need to hear more tape.
I could think it's conceivable. Johnny's drunk. Johnny's on drugs, and he might have done something that resulted in his own finger being cut off. I don't know. He slams the bottle down and hits his own finger. Thus far, nothing determinate to show it one way or the other, nor in her reaction. It's not in the trash. If she didn't do it, she wouldn't be overreacting in the first place.
All right.
But if I don't think Johnny got a skin graft, so I'm going to say I'm more of a doctor than the doctor. Did Johnny get a skin graft? People in the chat, let us know.
Here are some super chats. All right, long before we're gonna go right back to the thing. I'm gonna get that.
You got this one already, Nate.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oops. Boop. Next one, to the gentleman on screen who mentioned watching Gone Girl. That was you, Viva. I'm considering it as well, but am holding off on viewing it till after the trial to keep from subconsciously looking for similarities.
Yep.
That is true.
Catastrophe, which is from Shrek 2 or 3, I forget which.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna chop this name out. Free cool. Anybody can help me out with the name?
Frequeleak.
Frequeleak. I like that. You see, Viva can pronounce anything. How is verbal abuse determined? Since it seems to be very well, I think it means subjective, because verbal abuse isn't really objective. It's really subjective, to be honest with you. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it objective or subjective?
No, he meant subjective. No doubt.
Okay.
I mean, even what physical abuse is at least at this point subjective, because there's no real definition for the jury, right? So it's like, Jimmy slapped her once. Is that necessarily domestic abuse? I mean, there's a potential question there.
Well, but seems like simple things like Johnny said could be construed as verbal abuse. That is what his lawyers are hoping, and that's why some of us have doubts about the strength of the case. And Nate, the lawyer, I hate most of her facial expressions. She looks like Golden in Lord of the Rings. Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Gollum. Next one says, did you guys see Amber back up what's that, foreign being scared of Johnny? Oh yeah, when she was walking out and she jumped back like she was scared of Johnny at the end of Thursday. You saw that?
I think I was the first one that noticed that. I immediately clipped it and posted it to Twitter because I thought Johnny did something to her because I saw her go, and I was like, oh, did Johnny just like go like or say something? She fainted before Johnny even saw it. But the thing is this, chat corrected me today in my stream. The jury allegedly wasn't, or apparently wasn't.
They
in
weren't
the room.
there. Yeah, when they're leaving, they're not there. Because they gotta wait till the jury leaves before they can leave.
So the question is, if she feigned it, why would she feign it if the jury that she's trying to sway was not there? So
she's got to act consistent.
Public opinion too. Yeah, court of public opinion. Cameras are still on. Julio says she'll say JD, Jerry, and Ben SA'd her on a pinball machine in the bar, and we'll play a 911 call from a frat boy. This is Jody. Oh yeah, Jody Foster in the Q's, right?
Well, hold on. What does SA?
Frat boy.
I want to ask it. What does SA mean? Oh, sexual.
There
you
go.
I didn't say it. Nobody can identify. But it comes forward and testifies and saves the day. I'm not sure I understand this super chat. She'll say, JD, but what do you think?
I don't know.
Well, I think that the underlying idea of the chat is that she's going to make up a story and then have no evidence for it, but then somebody's going to come in and say something happened.
That's true. Thank you for the super sticker, Dylan. I hope JD lawyers can pick most egregious lies to confront her with. I think they will. I'm afraid they might get trapped in the vortex of her many but that's lies.
You pick the top 5, but when they do this, Nate, do they get to play the video of her previous depositions so that we can see it in real time?
They get to read it into the record. That's what it seems like they've been doing, because they did it for Johnny, for all of his. They read them into the record. What do you think, Uncivil?
I don't know what the deal is on that, to be honest. I'm not sure what the mechanics of that are in terms of using the video or not.
Living Sweetly, thank you for the generous super chat. Says, hello, gentlemen. Is it possible that she planned it from the beginning? Older man enabled drugs and alcohol drive him to insane suicide, refuse medication. This sounds like the plot of a movie with Madonna, where she did something like this to an old guy. She was like this femme fatale. During a detox to a routine location, hoping he would expire and the game to inherit status and money. WTF.
Well,
yes. Go ahead.
She only wanted the prenup for his protection, not for her benefit. That's crazy, Living Sweetly. How could you dare suggest that? You heard the testimony. No, it's planned from the beginning. I mean, I think at some point you say, like, this is where we're going to go with this story. When she got married to him, I don't think she saw this coming in ever. But when he saw what she was doing to him, then you gotta start protecting yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think she's some sort of 18-level chess master who can think this all the way through.
No,
So no, I'm going to go with no on that one.
So just so everyone knows, I'm going to read all of the super chats, today's super chats, and last stream super chats on stream today. So if you guys are here from that, right after this last video, we're going to talk about that. I think Viva may get out of here, and I'm just going to read the super chats. And you guys are welcome to stay if you want to stay through that. So, with no more to do, let's hear.
One second. You were over 12,000. Now you're under 12,000. I don't know how many thumbs up you have. Thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to Nate. And by the way, what I like to do on my streams, drop a comment right now, because 11,000 people dropping a comment in the chat. Watch what happens to the chat. Explosion.
Yeah. Everyone just drop something in the chat. Anything.
No emojis. Emojis are bad. Comments.
Some sort of words. Love you. You're great.
1, you think Amber's lying. 2, you think Amber's telling the truth. Let's see who thinks what now. A lot of ones in the chat.
Got a lot of ones in the chat now.
I'm not sure they had to hear the second part.
You got hi, hello, chat. Now you go. Chat's exploding. That's it. Done. It's done. My work
is done. You did. All right. So now let's now look at
the ones in the chat, Dave.
Oof, yeah, they are massive. So let's get back to the video of Amber Heard. Seeing if Amber Heard's story matches the video.
This is after Johnny Depp's finger has been chopped off. We don't know who did it, how it happened, but this is the audio from that incident, and we don't know who took it. Okay. context.
Amber Heard recorded this supposedly. So somebody in the chat a couple of people in the chat was saying, and this is from Amber Heard's side. So she recorded this. And what else? Also remember, we listened to Amber's story from when the doctors came in till she went to bed. And she was like, I went to bed. So so we're gonna see when they take her upstairs. So that's what we're listening to this for until she goes upstairs. So it shouldn't be too much longer. Remember, her story was pretty quick. Here we go.
They were trying to feed the house plant blood, like a little bird.
Which I feel like is maybe one of the first things when I was getting.
Now, look through this. I looked through it once. I didn't see anything that looked like that. That's the thing. But I bet it's in there. He's got this all over. Wait, he's going to get infected. So then we have to start our
Fucking doctors worried about infections, man. That doesn't happen that quickly.
He's put his hand all in paint and stuff.
How big of a piece of skin are you looking for?
We're looking at this. We're looking at like a third.
This makes me queasy. With bone in it, by the way. I think it has bone in it.
Maybe she should have some.
Done. That's included.
Ambiguous.
I never meant to hurt him. I didn't do it on purpose. That's totally not ambiguous.
Oh, Sarah? Yeah. I'd be okay with 100. But here's 50.
Ridiculous. You think it's hysterical? This is crazy. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to hurt him.
No, I think it's I think it's ambiguous. I know you strongly disagree with me, Viva, but like, all right, let's take the premise that she is in fact the victim of domestic violence. Okay, yep. Let's interpret it in that light. So she says, "I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to hurt him. I didn't do it on purpose." Could you imagine a domestic victim, a person of domestic violence saying that? I could. It's like, I didn't mean, because I mean, people, it's my limited understanding that people of domestic violence will often blame themselves. They think that they're the ones that set them off. They're somehow at fault. I somehow did something to anger him, so I didn't mean to do it. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to hurt him. It's like, if you accept the premise that she's a person of domestic violence, that seems consistent. That's why I say it's ambiguous.
But it would also be consistent if she was an abuser, because they would be saying the same thing.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't.
That's
right.
Still, it's ambiguous.
It remains ambiguous. I'll give you both you're both right in intent, not in act. When she says, "I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to hurt him," I don't care if she did it out of defense or out of aggression. I take that, and I don't think anyone's going to deny it. She did that to his finger. Like that's the bottom line. Whether or not she thought she was defending herself, the issue is whether or not she did that to his finger. And now she in this trial is denying having done it to his finger, where she's saying here, "I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to hurt him." In defense or in aggression, it doesn't matter. It's the act that's the issue right now. Oh, checkmate.
Ooh, we got some tension here. Here we go.
But by the way, the Seroquel, like, what the doctors run around just prescribing Seroquel to? Oh, she is a doctor's patient as well, right? Like, Amber is also the doctor's patient.
I believe so. I believe he's treating both of them at one point in time, because remember he had the one nurse for her, the one nurse for Amber. So I think this is Amber's nurse. Maybe I'm not sure if it's Amber or Johnny's nurse.
I had never heard of Seroquel until a Tom McDonald song where he says he has like bottles of Seroquel, and I had to look up what it was. But no, she did it. The only question is, was it defense or was it aggression? But when she denies it, then you start thinking that there's bad reasons for which she's denying now what she admitted to doing before.
All right, but now again, it's just we're trying to also see the story's consistent. I think this story's there's a lot more context here, but we are listening to it, so it's probably it's going to be longer. So let's finish listening. Let's it's just a little bit more. Let's listen to it out. Here we go.
This is I've never heard this before. This is really
nearby, actually.
This is good stuff. This is why you should subscribe. Subscribe to Nate the Lawyer. You hear good stuff.
This is guilt. She wants to
said
take
this is
50. I gave her
guilt.
25 and 300 and said you reassess in a little bit.
This sounds like someone who hurt someone a lot more than they intended to.
That's the security guy.
This sounds like you really hurt him much more than this.
So you know what's going on. She made a quick decision. She can't trust me.
Remember, she was put in the in that room or whatever in the theater.
Listen, she wants to go out of here. She knows she's gone. She thinks she's going to do something upside down.
Chat says she's scared she's going to jail. That's why she's like.
And this was today, but the way she's paying.
This guy's doing a bang up job. Like the British guy, amazing.
Now this guy's dead. That's why we won't hear about him in the trial.
How did he die?
I'm not sure. He just passed away from something. I think cancer or something like that, but I'm not sure.
Oh, everyone in the chat is saying cancer. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's cancer. So we heard the part up to her where she closed the door. What do you think? Do you think her rendition of the story matches what we heard before?
What was her testimony on the finger? And she hasn't testified on this yet, right?
She did. We heard it right before this. Right before we heard this, we heard her testimony. Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah. In this trial, we heard her testify on the finger.
But on what happened after the finger?
No, after
and when she went and when she went to bed.
But what was her testimony on how Johnny lost his finger? That he was hitting his phone and then she didn't remember what happened.
The phone thing. Yeah. This was just because we had the audio of what actually happened. So
She's a
you want
liar.
to so play the audio again?
No, she's a liar. She's lying. There's nothing to it, Nate. It's like Kurt.
I mean, with respect to the audio unto itself, I still think it's ambiguous.
The audio's ambiguous. No, I'm talking about, but does the audio match to her original account?
I don't know that it really reflects anything, to be honest. I'm not getting that much value out of the audio. I don't think I'm not really hearing anything that really confirms or contradicts her account. Seems like a lot of sobbing, and the medical people are wondering about the broken finger and trying to find the finger and stuff like that. But there's nothing really in the audio that seems to confirm or contradict her testimony.
No,
unless I'm being a complete moron, which the chat already seems to think I am.
No.
I'm reading the chat. You're still good. Right up until now.
What are you talking about?
No,
yeah.
What she said was that in her testimony, he was hitting the phone and he kept on breaking into pieces. And then whatever, fast forward 2 hours, he's running around without his tip of the finger. She doesn't know what happened. Bull crap. Because right now in this, she's saying, whether or not she did it or he did it, she's saying I never meant to hurt him, and she clearly knows what happened to that fingertip. And there's a 2-hour gap that she testified to, having not remembered, that she clearly remembers. No,
Well,
it's
well. Let me do this. Let me play just her original testimony of the incident, so we could just compare just for that piece to see if it's confirmed, because that was long. So this is. Hold on. Let me cue it up.
Now, Kurt, now you've pissed off the chat. Now,
I notice.
Oh my God.
I already know what they're saying. I know they hate me.
No, it's actually good to check. Just check it out.
Okay, because this is she's testifying after about the medication, but not about the incident for the finger.
All right.
So you go. I see someone said big love. It's a. I think Kurt. People do it because they love you. That's the only reason.
Here we go.
This is the abuse idea, right? They're only hitting me because they love me. Is that what we're going with?
No, we love you, Kurt. I see it right there. I see a lot. Okay, I'm gonna mute.
This should be it. All right. So this is her testifying about what happened after the doctor got there and the security.
Watch the snarl and the eye movement.
And Jerry Judge, his security, and one of the nurses shortly after, I think they put me in the theater room, but shortly after, I remember talking to one of the nurses, and she was trying to give me drugs to sedate
Objection,
me.
Your Honor. Hearsay.
I don't understand why that's here. She was trying to give her drugs to sedate her. That's
keep going.
Oh, to sedate her.
And I just remember
that lawyer.
I just remember crying and rejecting what they were trying to give me, and fighting with them about how much they were trying to give me. I felt like I needed to figure out what was happening with my life, what was happening with Johnny. I didn't know if he was okay. I didn't know. I actually had no idea, like, could this be something he could die from? If anything, just the drugs and the alcohol.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sorry. Pause it, Nate.
That alone,
This is
I didn't, I was.
Right.
This is the pathological nature of the behavior. She knows that the dude just lost his finger, that the doctor himself is talking about loss of blood, and then she is now testifying not whether or not he's going to die from the loss of blood or the injury, but from the drugs and the alcohol, to try to demonize him as an individual for something that's totally unrelated to the actual critical emergency at the time. She is sociopathic. She's sociopathic. I'm sorry. Okay. They're trying to blame him. It's not about his finger missing and the bleeding. She's wondering if he's going to die from the drugs and the alcohol, because she's just got to demonize him to the jury in her testimony now.
See, again, I'm going to be the bad guy, but that's okay. When she's like concerned, saying she's concerned, if you accept the premise, if you accept the premise that she's the victim, if you accept the premise that Johnny did this to himself, it would be reasonable to assume that he did it under some sort of intoxicant, right? So if she's saying, I'm wondering that whether or not the alcohol and drugs are going to kill him, she might also be referring to things that are happening because of the drugs and alcohol, like, for example, cutting off your finger. It's like, so she could say, assuming he died from it, she could say it was the drugs and alcohol that killed him because that was the reason that led to that. So that's why I don't find as much contradiction there.
Okay, that's a fair point, but I'm just saying, if for someone who's describing the incident, you don't go for the underlying incidental cause. You go for if someone's on drugs and alcohol and they shoot themselves in the heart accidentally with a bow and arrow, it's like, oh, the drugs and alcohol must have killed him. No, it's the freaking bow and arrow. Like, if that's a medical emergency, you call them and say he shot himself with a bow and arrow, not he's on drugs and alcohol. If I'm
I understand that 911, yeah, I get that, but but thinking about it on reflection, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I can appreciate that.
She's all right. Here we go. The rest of it.
I just remember being scared and being in this theater room, this dark theater room, and not knowing what the heck was going on.
She knew what was going on.
And I eventually was taken up to my room by one of the nurses, and I'm sorry, Debbie.
Debbie, I forgot to add the detail.
Or suggesting I go up to my room. I went up to my room, and I took a quarter of what she was trying to get me to take, and
pause for 1 second.
I eventually fell asleep.
I took a quarter of what she was trying to get me to take. She's the victim. The doctor is the victimizer. She was trying to get me to take more. I took a quarter. It's classic and like pathological behavior. I took a quarter of what she was trying to give me because I'm the victim and someone else is trying to abuse me, even though it's a nurse or a doctor. Okay.
I came back downstairs to look for my phone, which Johnny had picked up before security came in. He picked up my phone.
I can't hear you, Nate.
Sorry. I think a couple of things can be true. I think in evaluating this and evaluating all of these things, you just have to first, it's what a reasonable person do. I do agree with you. I think if you're looking at this critically and you're saying, well, if she is telling the truth, then all this does seem reasonable. But also, if she's not telling the truth, it's reasonable. So it's one of those things where it's like you really just don't know. But I'm trying to. Oh, Viva's back.
Yeah.
I apologize, Amber Heard.
I'm trying to,
and I was making a mistake. And again, I'm sorry, I'm joking.
The one thing from looking at everything, just something is just way off with Amber Heard, and it's off with both the story, it's off the way she's telling it, and it's like even in the examples today, there's so much exaggeration going on. It's like you don't know what's real or what's fake. And even her mannerisms when telling the different stories over different places, like she's at the deposition telling it one way, and then to see her in court telling it in a different way that's all emotional, it doesn't really, I understand it, context matters, but it's just like, I don't know. It was like the styles were just so drastically different. It wasn't like someone telling a story and versus in a deposition. It was just more crass. So I don't know. There's just something I think rubs me wrong about it. But that's personal subjective feeling. That's really not anything that's technical. Go ahead.
In the interest of informing the chat, I already don't agree with Amber Heard's story. I'm just talking about the tape, right? I mean, I have weaknesses and I have strengths, and I accept that. But I don't believe Amber Heard. It's not because of this tape. The tape doesn't really do that much for me personally. But I have other reasons to do it. I have a whole video on my channel. It's about 8 minutes long. If you want to watch me step through the analysis in my own mind about the things that are and are not mine. So I'm not saying that I believe Amber Heard. I already discount her, but for completely independent reasons. So I'm sorry that the tape isn't doing that much for me, but it's not because I'm like simping or anything. I already think that she's a liar. I just think so for other reasons.
Yeah. The tape is not going to make a break. This was just, again, for the top four, I believe that were that from the testimony that people had found. I think the first two I think are really good. This one I actually think is okay, but I don't think any one of them alone crosses you the finish line. And plus, it was honestly to present it to you guys to see what you guys thought about it. So what's up? What are you saying, Peter?
Pathological liar, sociopath, pathological behavior, and you'll notice it. I just posted a link in the chat to a video I did 4 years ago about bad clients. They are always you'll notice the telltale symptoms, behaviors to watch out for. They're always victims. It's always someone else's fault. They were always trying to do good. Everyone else is always trying to get them to do wrong to them. They always conveniently skip over the most important details. You notice even in her story about the loss of the fingertip, she's like, oh, I was in the amphitheater and then yada, 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 I'm in my room. It's like, sorry, what you just glossed over were the most important details of the event. And now you glossed over it. Some nurse is trying to give you more drugs than you want. Johnny Depp is abusing you. You're trying to pacify everybody. You're always the good person. It's the telltale signs of a bad client and a pathological borderline personality disorder.
But the one thing about that last story that also doesn't make sense is that, all right, so understand the timeline that she puts forward. So right before the whole finger chop incident, or kind of during it, this was one of his alleged attacks against her. So he's attacking her in various different ways. and he uses the phone and does something, and allegedly she says she doesn't know how he broke, but he
Yada, yada. 2 hours later,
his only
finger's gone.
his finger's gone, and she sees it, and she assumes it's gone for a long time. So that's the story that she's putting out. But in that story, but in that timeline of events, it seems like let me see how do I want to explain it. There was something wrong with the time. Let me look at it because I wrote it down in a note. I thought it was weird.
But you can also just notice it's symptomatic of every element of her testimony. She skips over the most important parts. Johnny pins me down, strikes me in the face, and then we're in Australia. I was like, I'm sorry, can you finish that story? Because that's kind of like the most important spot where you left off. Here, Johnny's smashing his phone. I don't know what's happening. 2 hours later, his finger's gone. I mean, it's like the Lost Highway, David Lynch. Like, you always gloss over the part where you murdered the person. It's but you have enough. I mean, when you see it enough, you can identify from a mile away. But I had never seen her testify until now.
Let me read off some of these super chats. Viva, I'm going to start going into super chat mode because we have 88 super chats here, and I want to start giving the people the voice. If you guys want to hang around and answer some of them, that is cool. So, I'd ask people what did they think about the presentation today. Let me give people a quick review of what was shown so they know. So the first one, let's go back.
Histrionic. I have to look up that word histrionic. I heard them say it. I don't know what it means exactly, but
assuming it comes from hysteria, it's the same root.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
so this one I'll add.
She was attempting to.
And this is at the beginning. So the first one, let me get my notes. I gotta get two screens. This is ridiculous. All right. So the first one is this is the sister. This is Johnny. Supposedly the reason why she hit Johnny Depp, because this was like the big issue that she punched him in front of a whole bunch of people. So this is that first clip in the depositions, her testifying.
Break us up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on the top of a flight of stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be.
Oh, there you go. Right
and
there.
I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done. I acted defensively in her life. I saw her standing on top of a flight of stairs and trying to interrupt a fight in between him and I. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her. But I would have done anything. I would have done anything to prevent her from being pushed down a flight of stairs.
She's unrecognizable between now and then. Like, I would never have known they were the same person. In no bad way, because they're both very attractive.
This is the second clip, her describing the same event. Remember, first time she didn't know what she did. She didn't know what she used to hit him. She didn't know anything. She just knew she put her body in between. She had no real clear memory of the details. Who punched what Johnny even did, except he was close to her sister and she believed he was going to push her down the stairs. So now here's the story. Here's the story told for the jury.
I just remember this brief struggle we had before we kind of break away. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and
the eyes
I just
the eyes are doing the same thing again.
See my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other. I don't hesitate. I don't wait. I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I
What's the Kate
swung at
Moss
him.
in the stairs bit? Like,
In
what happened
all
to
of
Kate
my
Moss?
relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first
Hadn't
time,
landed a blow.
hit him.
I won't
Like,
forget that.
actually hit him.
Nate, you're muted.
Oh, I thought.
Sorry
I
about
had-
that, Kurt.
I was getting ready to reboot my computer.
Kurt,
In all of them, I had to land
so
it.
Kurt,
I had to land the blow.
I'm not sure if you saw the first one. So this is the first one. We compared what she said in the deposition to what she said to the stand. What do you think?
I'm not sure I saw the first one, so I might have to skip out on that one.
All right, the first one, she essentially did. She didn't like exactly say a lot of the stuff that she said now. She didn't say back then. She didn't say he swung at the sister. It was like a whole bunch of
Well, if I may, it's almost like the entire story was inverted. Last time she interjected herself in between the fight. This time, sorry, let me rephrase. The last time she got in the way of the fight between Johnny and her sister. This time, her sister got in the way of the fight between her and Johnny. It's like she just plays the roles of what she has seen in life that she thinks will be accepted as reality at that time. It's the talented Mr. Ripley, by the way, and it's not a coincidence. She cited it, from what I understand. She misappropriates other people's experience and makes it her own. Pathological.
And this was the next clip was, all right. So she said at the end of this one that she had never hit Johnny before that moment.
Never
That
landed.
time she had never landed a. Well, this is what she said.
And I don't know if he had let go of my neck or loosened my grip, but I remember slapping him across the face, screaming at him, screaming at me. I got my hand free when he tried to grab me when I walked off.
So that she said, she had said 2 hours ago during her testimony when she was talking about what happened in Australia. So now she's talking about what happened after. Then when she said she's talking about something after Australia, she said, no, the first time I ever hit him was after Australia. So the timeline is off in that instance. What do you think, Kurt?
I mean, I don't know what to think about that in particular, because if she had told the same story exactly the same way, I'd be more suspicious because that doesn't happen, right? Normally when people tell a story a second time, they tell different details, the details change. It's way more suspicious if someone tells the exact same story the exact same way. So I don't know what to think about inconsistencies like that. It's like, is it enough to break the consistency of the story? I don't know.
What's the time frame on the two testimonies? A year and a half?
No, one was one. All right, so the testimony she's giving now, this one was actually, well, no, I think the testimony is 2016 through 2022. But that wouldn't, even if I grant you don't tell the story the same, the timeline should still match, right? So if event A, so if you're talking about event A and event B, you should still have a good timeline. And the problem is that even here, what she's saying is that the first time she's ever struck Johnny was this second time. But then she testified earlier in the day that she had actually slapped Johnny in an event that happened before that. So that's what I'm saying. So the timeline in that instance. Now, could she have just been speaking? Could she have just forgot that she said it? Maybe. Or like Viva said earlier, she may not even consider that slap to be strike,
a blow,
to be a strike or a blow, which wouldn't even be consistent with her own testimony, because she's calling slaps and blows abuse, but yet she would then consider her slapping, so that would even be an issue with that. So that's why I think this is important, because she's saying on one end, hey, the first time I hit him was in, let's say, April, and then before she said, well, I hit him, but actually I slapped him in January. It's like, no, that doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't be so convinced about the stories are not supposed to be identical from one recounting to the next, but they're not supposed to be radically different. And
yeah, those stories are radically different.
Include radically new and radically traumatic details years later that were not included the first time around. There could be reasons why, like you want to hide it the first time, you don't want to recount. But when the defamation case in the UK against the Sun,
Mike,
there's someone in the back. Someone's covered up by Jennifer.
Hello.
Mike, sorry, Mike.
How you doing?
So, some of the details you could forget, and then other ones when you have to get real suspicious when they start adding real meaningful detail this time around.
Mike, how's everything going, brother?
Good. I've been watching for a while. It's good stuff. I find it compelling.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I find a lot of other stuff compelling too that I just don't believe her.
Mike, I don't want to leave for the sake of it. I'm going to make room for me because I know that I'm being summoned to the next room.
Thank you, Viva. Thanks for coming on.
Guys,
thank you so much.
Mike, I'll see you soon. Kurt, Nate, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Take care. All right, I'm pulling off some super chats. So what's been going on, Mike? How's it been going, bro?
I was just actually making dinner and listening to you guys. I thought I would get away from it, but I can't. And it's just a fascinating case. It really is.
Yeah. It is. So you said you've been watching along. What do you think about what's been presented?
I thought it was interesting how different she was. I've never seen any testimony from the case in England.
Oh, yeah.
She looks so different.
Yeah, it's like well, for me, her emotional range is totally different in that case, but it's a lot lesser stakes too. I think for her in that case than it is for this one.
Yeah, so, she's not a party.
Yeah, but I also think though, generally people do remember things after certain happens, but it's like if you're telling such a traumatic story and you know so much detail, if you know she's kind of like she doesn't know what happens. It's really the trauma that's the reason why she really doesn't know what happens. Then to really now be able to get into such granular details, I'm not sure how frequent that is. You know, somebody who says they don't have a memory or something, then comes back and says, "Hey, I remember everything about it." Right? You know, I know it happens, but that it doesn't happen that crazy. You know,
she's inconsistent as all get out, and I think that testimony is a good way to look at it. Oh, sorry. Am I too loud? Yeah. Okay. But I don't know if I'm on Depp's team if I want to make reference to the case that they won against the Sun.
No.
I don't know if I want to introduce that when I have lots of great material internally with this case and the testimony that they actually saw.
No, you definitely don't want to bring the Sun stuff in if you're on Johnny Depp's team. No.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds them, hey, not she, but the Sun won that case and thought this of her, and why do we think that? Why are we finding a different conclusion? I don't want that going through their brains.
Oh yeah, and I think it's, but that's smart though, because the Sun case, not only did you lose, he lost bad. It wasn't like he just that wasn't just like a little loss. That was like a really bad loss, and I think against the Sun. Let's say if the Sun was an American newspaper and had all these facts and published what they published, I don't think they would have won here in the United States at all. I think the United States, you got plenty to overcome. He can't overcome actual malice. Actual malice is totally destroyed in the United States case.
Well, the other thing
first party account.
You see what a change it makes, though, that there's video.
Yeah,
I mean, there are a ton of people watching us and a whole bunch of other people. Ricada, just Long Crime Network. Lots of people are doing videos about this stuff, but they have the source video to go from it, and it's just gotten so much more play. I saw a couple tidbits from the Sun case, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's surprising. I'm surprised the Sun case didn't get some more press. Well, I know it got a lot of press, but it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't as impactful to me as this one is, but maybe it's because this one is being televised.
Video makes the difference.
Video makes the difference. Yeah.
And this is sexier with her being the defendant.
That's true. She's not a likable defendant at all.
No,
she's not a likable defendant at all. Let me try to get some of these super chats out of the way. Thank you guys for being here. Oof. So we got, what is it? How long do we have before the case gets back?
Next Monday.
Oh, so we have some time.
Yep.
Oof. So when do you think Cross is going to get? When do you guys think Cross is going to start?
No earlier than Tuesday. She's on the stand all day Monday, I think.
Yeah,
So-
they have a lot to cover.
Yeah, because where did we leave off at? We were at like 2015, right?
Yeah, they're not even married yet on the timeline, so we got a lot of ways to go.
Damn. So all this is happening before. I thought, but they got married after the severed finger.
No, that happened just after they got married.
Yeah, yes, because because she talked about the severed finger, so they have to be after they got married.
Okay, well maybe I'm wrong then.
Yeah,
Joe!
but it's right around there.
Yeah, because that was the first thing that happened after they got married. I can't hear who was there.
Joe,
Things out.
oh, let me pull this one out like this. All right, Joe, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. There we are.
Catching all these little super chats. I got. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey,
What's up, man?
How are you guys doing?
Good.
I saw you lost Viva, and I figured you need someone to like be the voice of outrage.
Oh, yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You had that void that was there, so I'm here to fill that void.
So we were debating the top 4 allegedly Amber Heard impeachment moments on YouTube. So I don't know if you've seen them. You guys want me to show them to you fresh? They're not really that long.
That story goes from like being like this to this to this. It gets bigger and bigger. If Johnny Depp's big story similarly got bigger and bigger, that dookie would be like dinosaur dung. There would just be a bed covered in like this heaping mound of dung. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God! It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's giving it to us every day. But you know what though? But this is what we're here for, though, right? We're here to talk about the law because we love talking about the law. I like talking about this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, I was doing this for free. Me and civil law. I remember back in the day. Remember on civil law? We were doing this for free, baby, and loved every moment of it. So was you, Joe. I remember when Joe after what was it? It was what case was that? That you got your first 500. What was Chauvin? Oh, when all the people came over from Chauvin.
That's right. That's right. He was doing a stream of Chauvin, and he's like, "I gotta go pick up my kids. You want to pick up the stream, Joe?" I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" Are you kidding me?
And Joe's over there indoctrinating them over there.
That's where the public at large started getting a taste of Joe Fire. So
all right. So listen. So there was 4 things I picked up online. We saw the first one. I don't know. Have you guys seen them already, or do you guys want to?
I saw the last one, but I didn't see the other ones. So
the first one is her testimony from the deposition compared to her testimony at trial. The third one is her testimony at the deposition to the cops' testimony, how they were different. And the third one was her recanting of events after the finger was severed versus the recording of what happened after the finger was severed to see if they were consistent. So those were the 3 things. Now, none of them really were consistent. On civil law was making the argument that no 2 stories would be consistent. And that it really wasn't really a compelling argument that they were. Would you say, Kurt?
Yeah, I just as to the audio unto itself, I just didn't find it to be that powerful. This idea that she made an admission, I didn't really find it to be an admission personally.
I agree with you, but you're sort of applying the summary judgment standard. You're saying if I assume of all the facts most favorable to the non-moving party here, I can see where I can agree with Amber.
Right.
That's sort of where you're coming at it. It's not I'm convinced, just like if you accept the premise that she's the victim, okay, this is maybe plausible.
Yeah. And that's more along the lines of what I think, right? Or how I think even, because I think more in terms of those kinds of standards. So, yeah.
But wouldn't it be more, well, first you'd have to determine which side you find to be more credible. And then you would give that the tie goes to the runner, right? It was like, okay, if I find Johnny's side to be more credible, then I'm going to believe his side of the story. But then how do you judge credibility? And I think you judge credibility by
I'm judging credibility by the fact that she can't cash the check she's writing. She's making all these promises that are not validated by the available evidence. That's how I'm determining credibility. So the tape might not do much, but the fact that she's making these grandiose claims and there's no evidence to reflect the kind of claims she's making, that's why I find her non-credible. But it's more of an objective thing, right? Rather than me parsing whether or not she's telling the truth in this tape or not. I'm just looking at cold hard facts and being like, well, you're saying this. The cold hard facts say this. Having trouble squaring it. So yeah, that's where I lose the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, let me get some super chats. All right, so we had Dylan with super sticker. I think we read this one. I have a lot in the queue, so I'm gonna try to see if I can run through these quickly. Kyle Rittenhouse testimony showed a PTSD reaction. I think that's true. What do you guys think, real quick?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's true. PTSD,
it was genuine, whatever it was.
Yeah. He cried and had trouble breathing. She doesn't. But I don't know if you can. Yeah, there's devil to the game though. Sometimes too. Not everybody's reaction is going to be exactly the same. That's kind of how I kind of feel about that.
Yeah.
Support Nate. Thank you so much. Boom. Is there evidence admissible without documented medical attention?
Yes.
Concern of the glass in her blank. Broken nose, ribs, repeated punching against her head.
Sure.
Yes, you can make the
testimony is evidence. Is definitely a kind of evidence.
And let's not forget, some victims don't go to the hospital and don't have medical, so she's it's kind of like the best of both worlds, right? Where if you are a victim, there's there are events that happen that you won't have this type of stuff. But then if you aren't a victim, it's going to make it harder for us to then require that you have some stuff. It helps, but it's not a requirement. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And this says the audio from Australia, Amber, all I was popping was Xanax, Adderall, ecstasy, MDA, and hallucinogens. Testimony in court, I never again to MDNA. They did like the MDNA. This is AH similar to what's it? Ex-LAPD sociopath Stephanie Lorenzo. Do you know that case, Joe? Lazarus,
I don't know the Lazarus case. No. Can I pick your legal brains here? While I'm sitting here with three attorneys I respect.
Let me just get this last one from Britt. Mm-hmm. Britt commented, we all love Britt. Britt is huge for all our jails. Thank you, Britt.
Yeah, Britt is great.
Nate, as an ex-cop, that all police do is take pictures of non-crime and write reports for things they do not observe. Every cop I know says it is the highlight of the day when they write reports. That is so true. We hate writing reports. And the fact of the matter is, though, when it comes to DV complaints, though, the issue is that, in law enforcement, DV is taken a little more seriously. It's different because of the nature of what's generally been happening in the past, where people were seriously injured because cops were called, they didn't do anything, and so forth and so forth. So what you have now is if you go to, like, even when you hear these cops' testimony, what they were even saying is that when you go to the location, if you see evidence of abuse, you can now take an action. You don't really need the person to say yes, or essentially pressing charges. You don't need the person to say, yes, this person did it to me. You can see, like, she has a black eye. Then you have enough for an arrest. Or if you go and everything is all torn up, you have enough for an arrest. So in this case, that's what the cops did. They went there and was looking, and then they were saying, even if you don't feel you have enough for an arrest, but you see things are all messed up, you cover your behind by writing a report, because you God forbid you say everything's all right, you checked it, there's no problem, and you come, and next thing you know, you're on the 6 o'clock news, there was a problem, right? So write a report. And they didn't even get to the level of that where they were even concerned enough to just say, let's just cover our behind and write a report. They said that we didn't even get to that point because there was not enough. So that's what I'm talking about. She's essentially saying those cops, she was saying those cops just violated all procedures, that she was a victim and they just looked the other way. They looked the other way. That's essentially what she's saying.
Absolutely. And all the doctors and nurses too. They're all mandatory reporters. Nobody's taking this as a domestic abuse situation contemporaneously in the moment. She does try to do that with her therapists way after the fact, but that's it.
Yeah, that therapist seemed so biased to me. I don't know why. That therapist was just so biased. What did you think about that therapist, Uncivil?
The one for Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, her first day of testimony, she couldn't have come off as more snotty and like she couldn't be bothered to be there. Like she couldn't be bothered. She can't believe that she's being asked questions by Amber Heard, the people that are paying her. It's like she's beneath being there, beneath being asked questions by the people paying her. It was weird. She had this whole attitude that was very strange. Apparently, this woman is given lectures on how to be an expert witness. I don't know, man. Might need another crack at it.
Well, she was uncomfortable because she didn't believe what she was saying. It's that simple.
Well, then, as a recognized expert with her reputation, maybe she shouldn't be saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Lying is bad. Lying is the devil. Don't lie.
Oh, hold on one second. I want to show you guys what Dr. Grande said about her. You guys know Dr. Grande, right?
I am familiar with his work because I made fun of him.
He calls her Depp down bias. Now we're not going to play the whole video, but we're gonna play this. The funny part in here. Well, you know what? I'll just play his conclusion. They gave me like a long ad. They know I wanted to play something. They're like, "Yo, we're gonna give them the longest ad possible." This is why they want me to get ad blocker. But I feel ad blocker is like theft. Oh, then they played another one behind it. Go ahead.
I actually noticed that we get more money from people who are paying for ad blockers than we are from people who actually watch ads. That's actually something I noticed. I think the overwhelming majority of people must be using ad blockers only because I get like a 2-to-1 ratio. I was actually looking at the numbers recently, and I got a 2-to-1 ratio on money proceeds from people who are using ad blocker compared to people getting views. And I'm taking from that must be a reflection of the percentage of people who actually use ad blocker. It could be just.
I use ad blockers, man.
I'm just saying. That's my takeaway. I wanted to ask you guys a thought about just legal theory in general, which has really come under scrutiny during Amber's testimony in particular. And that is, if we're all familiar with the exception of an admission by a party opponent as being an exception to hearsay, why do you think that that's an exception to hearsay, whereas something that the party themselves had said in the past is not deemed an exception to hearsay? What's the legal what's the logic that led to the law evolving that way? It's a very weird thing when we see that there's that Amber's testifying conversation she had with Johnny, and she's allowed to testify about things he said, but not about things she said. Why do you think that would be? Have you ever thought about that at all?
Well, I mean, it's the idea.
You can testify against it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd only be offering your party opponent's testimony to the extent that it hurts them. I mean, strictly speaking, you could offer it for helping them too, but why would you? Right. So the only reason you're offering it is to hurt them. And the idea is that, an innocent person would never say things that would hurt them. They would protect their reputation. They wouldn't say things that would be damning. So, if they're saying things that are against their interests, then, that's the idea. And if you're the person trying to offer it for yourself, well, of course
you're just bolstering.
Yeah, of course you'd say things that make you look good. Everyone would. Everyone's a liar and narcissist about themselves. So that's the logic.
Well, also the idea is to not get out of court statements just in, so everyone's just operating an innuendo. If you have a party opponent, they're presumably in the court.
That's the point.
They can come back and say, "No, I did not say that."
Right. No, I understand that. Although that's not always the case, because, for example, Johnny's getting an opportunity to rebut, and he'll still have the opportunity to say things that Amber said. She will not have an opportunity to rebut his rebuttal. So in theory, when they present the rebuttal case, he will still be open to testify about things she said that she, in theory, will have no opportunity to respond to.
If I represented Amber Heard and they brought up new stuff in the rebuttal case, I would be object all over that judge.
Yeah, I'd object. You can't do that.
I'd say it's admission by a party opponent.
No, it doesn't matter. You have to bring it in your case in chief. No, that's not the issue. In the rebuttal, you can only respond to things that were said in their case. It's not the problem that it's hearsay or not. The problem is you can't expand the scope.
Right. Okay. I think it would be a hard thing for the defense to stop if they did bring it up, because they'll be bringing it up. They'll be talking about the conversation, the fight that they had by the staircase, and what he said, what she said. So now if he's rebutting it, so he has the opportunity to say what she said while she's punching at him. And if he completely makes stuff up, we'll never know because she has no chance to actually say anything more than that.
No, because she has the chance to rebut it now because he can only mention it if she mentions it first. That's the whole thing, right? That's the nature of the scope. So she has an opportunity to basically rebut it in advance. She has the opportunity to say what happened. And then he has the opportunity to say, no, here's what happened. Now both people had an opportunity to speak.
I hear you. I hear you. It's a weird nuance. It's a weird nuance in the rules of evidence that is very much on display during this testimony here of Amber Heard. That's why I raised the philosophical underpinnings of it. I understand how it works. I'm just trying to figure out philosophically why we got to where we are at.
The thing that's getting at me, and I wanted to ask all of you, so that's what made me think of this, is I get that they both sides have a time limit, but I cannot imagine under any circumstance a judge saying, "Nope, that's it. You're screwed."
Oh, I can.
You can't make a closing argument.
I totally see that happening.
She claimed directly, like a couple of days ago, she claimed directly when she gave the time. She goes, "Your time is up. You will have no further time. I will stop a witness in the middle of questioning. If you're in the middle of questioning and your time is up."
I mean, that's
I want to see it happen.
No,
I want to see it happen.
I believe it. It's totally legal. The judge has the right to control their courtroom. They have the right to control the time. It's like 6 weeks and we're done. This is how much time you have. Don't push me. And I'm like, yep. If it's mid sentence, I want to know if it counts against your closing, because that would just be the best. You run out of time on your witness, and now you don't even get a closing because you ran out of time.
I think
that's horrible.
The closing is a separate day. No, the closing is a separate day.
I would do it. I do it. I'm a mean judge, Joe. I totally
you would do that. You would do that.
I totally do it. It's like I give you this much. Hey, that's not my fault. You should reserve some time for your closing. It's so sad, man.
No.
That adds time to strategy though now too. Like how much time you take with a particular witness and things of that nature.
Yes, it does.
That's another.
It's all falls into not my problem category.
I mean, I've had that 100 times for a motion or an argument where they literally, but I'm talking much smaller stakes. They're saying, okay, you have there's 10 minutes total each, but everybody has 5 minutes, just on a much smaller matter. And they bend the rules on that all the time, which is understandable. Like if someone goes 6 minutes, the judge will say you're past time, but then they'll keep talking, and then you got to wrap it up. But I've never seen a judge just whack. Well, in the appellate court, I have. The appellate court, they have.
The appellate court does it all the time.
Appellate court does it all the time. That's different.
You can finish your sentence, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it in bench. I've seen it in bench trials.
I believe it. I do it. I'm a mean judge. You finish your. You better reserve some time for closing because I'm not giving you any extra.
I agree.
Appeal me.
I agree with Connie, by the way.
I'm sorry.
I think that Dr. Hughes genuinely believes that women are always the victim. I think she genuinely believes that, and that if there's anything mutual, I think she is sincere. I think she's twisted, but I think her perspectives are twisted. But I think that she genuinely believes that twisted philosophy that if there's a man or a woman, that the woman's always the victim.
And
hey, a lot of numbers here.
The guy has 3,000 subscribers with no content.
Lord love it, there he is. All right, let me knock down some of these super chats because I got 153 in the queue. This is crazy. It's all the love, thank God. All right, now the problem is too, I don't even know where I left off at. All right, I'm gonna miss somebody.
This is a good problem to have. It's a good problem.
I'm gonna start having a clock on my stream and how many minutes everyone gets to speak, and then I'll just cut off Joe's mic.
I'll be the first one to use my time.
I got to fast read these later. All right. What I find fascinating is how every incident has an anchor, though. Blue light, dirty carpet. Thought. Blue light, dirty carpet. This is a memory technique. Boom. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. It says she will say JD destroyed her injury photos. I know they have a metadata issue with the injury photos. Johnny and Miss Vasquez look like they are friends. I think Amber has noticed. Will this affect the tension, anger, and Amber's cross-examination by Vasquez? What do you guys think?
I hope not.
I mean, you would expect that he'd be friendly with his attorneys.
Of course, yeah. Where are all the scare from
Scars.
being? Oh, I can't see anything. Where are the scars from being cut up to ball?
To hell. It's to hell.
Is
To
that
all
just
hell.
to
To
ball?
all hell.
Oh,
It's supposed to be to all hell.
To all hell by glass. You read these better than I do.
I'll do it for you if you want. Even not only all of this stuff you described in Australia, but then to go take sleeping pills while JD is still in the house awake and raging. Something is not right in Denmark.
Boom.
There's a written statement from the makeup artist who was with her all the following day and night before she went on James Corbin, saying, I think it was James Corden, but who said there was not a mark on her the day after the beating. It's weird, I know.
That is weird. That's
yeah.
But James Corden, I think that's probably one of the more interesting pieces of this, is that when you look at that first photo and then that second photo, the swollen noses, it's like, and then come to find out, the makeup artist testified that there were no bruises.
And speaking of no
in
bruises,
the trial, in the deposition.
Can we talk a little bit about that kneeing in the back, and then she does this whimpering of all days to wear a backless dress, and it's like,
and then she wore the backless dress, and
we saw the pictures. We saw the pictures.
Yeah.
That is like a back that any woman in the planet would kill to have. So
yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of kneeing there. I'm not sure about that one.
No. My partner and I were talking about this at work yesterday. If Amber Heard had her head savagely beaten into a wall to the point of loss of consciousness, any medical provider worth his salt would tell the patient to go to the emergency department.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah. And let's not forget, we're talking about everybody. She's saying everybody's lying. The security team, the doctors, the whole team is lying. So I don't know.
Hey team, can you talk about the standard preponderance and how low of a bar that is compared to criminal cases?
It's low.
Yeah, it's low.
It's just more likely than not. 50.1% is all you need. And I think malice is a given here because she was there. So she knows whether it's true or not. So for me, like, you need clear and convincing evidence of malice, but I think it's a given if you think she's lying. But she would know for sure that she's lying.
Amen.
So you just need 50.1%. In a criminal case, you need beyond a reasonable doubt, which, depending on who you ask, is something like 95% plus, and exactly what number will depend on who you ask. But it's a difference of 45%. It's pretty notable.
Yeah.
Sent you my email, Nate.
Oh, I got it, and you got it. See how long ago that was?
There's people in your chat, and they're like, get on the stream. I'm like, I'm sure, but I happen to know. I'm like, he's on the stream, and he doesn't even have my email.
I don't have your email. I don't have your email either. I feel very deprived.
Oh, you're not. You got to get in the Twitter chat, so because that's where we all drop all the links.
You know what? I'm gonna start. I canceled that long ago because I couldn't deal with it. But I'll redo a Twitter so I can talk to everybody.
All right.
A video on. Oh, go ahead.
A video on another channel showed her ballet dancing 2 days later after this so-called event, showing her dancing in all her arms and shoulders with no injuries. Not surprising.
With the broken, with the glass in the feet, man. That was quite an accomplishment.
Kirsten Smith says never went to a hospital, saying evidence for yes, but doesn't ever go to the hospital for record keeping, especially after the bottle incident. Hello.
Let's see that. I think I saw that ballet thing. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. Did you guys see that ballet video?
I didn't see the ballet thing at all.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I don't know how she did that with her John McClane ripped apart feet. That's amazing.
And the bashing in the head and choking.
It's hard to buy. Yeah. Is it late enough that I can mention that she's nearing the wall? Can I just get that out there now?
I'm going to shock you all.
A minute and a half.
I'm going to shock you all that I actually spoke to someone today who is convinced that Amber Heard is telling the truth and that Johnny is a monster. And I spent a half hour yelling at this guy that he's an idiot. I was like, what? God.
All right. So I got this proposed video. So this is allegedly. I make no claims of knowledge on this video.
Purportedly. When is it purportedly? When is it allegedly? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Purportedly. Well, whatever it is.
Alleges that it's allegedly.
This is supposed to be. Well, we'll look at the Twitter thing together. Share this screen. Let's share it. We're getting a lot of video today. Come on. All right. Now, I'm using too many things to stream out. All right. So here's supposedly the video. This is supposed to be Amber looking at her dance. This is after effortlessly stepping and sliding on broken glass, real life, blah, blah, blah. So this is supposed to be Amber Heard after she was supposedly beat up by Johnny Depp. It's supposed to be the day after or something like that. Here we go.
Look at those feet. It looks she's doing ballet well.
Can't help noticing the lack of the marks and the bashing and it's like, I get having a tough time squaring this one.
Yeah.
This is what I like. This is where my strength is more. It's like more in the objective, right? I have a tough time reading her. I have tough times with some of the audio, but like I see this shit and I'm like, you can't cash the checks you're writing. This is where you lose me. It's like you can't say he had me on the table. He was on top of me and he was beating me and throwing bottles at me and pushing my head up against the wall and then be like, oh, here's me at the ballet. No.
Something doesn't add up.
No,
Something doesn't add up.
This person who's extremely close to you, by the way, in this ballet dance, as one would be, doesn't seem to notice anything. Neither do I. So no.
That's right. No metadata sanctions. What I gotta slope this up because blank would not release the data. Oh, turd. I was gonna say other word, but you're right. I think turd is a better word. Is mental illness a legally viable excuse for defamation? Yeah, because that's what actual malice would be. That's what that would attack. That would attack the.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out of your mind and you're just saying wacky stuff, it's really not defamation.
I'm not even sure that's a defense and defamation. I have to go double check my books on that one.
Yeah, because you can't be held accountable. Because how could you know if what you're saying was false?
You wouldn't have malice, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't have malice. And then if you are crazy, who's actually going to believe it to hurt your reputation? You're crazy.
There goes all Kurt's claims against the crazy people making
definition claim. Dr. Karen bricked on explanation of percentages so bad that she's straight up clueless.
Yeah, I heard about that.
She's have been eviscerated. Lawyers need math.
I was a math major.
I like math.
I did like math too.
Yeah.
If what she said was true, she'd be a hamburger.
Yep.
None of this makes sense at all, as the proof she has doesn't correlate to what those injuries would really look like. And that broken bed rolled over.
That could have just been good sex. That's really if you've never broken a bed before.
Yeah, I mean seriously.
Why isn't Heard still using Charles Harder?
I don't know, but
I'm not sure.
That name sounds like the setup for a good joke.
Yes.
Sorry. Here's a good joke.
Gotta give us all gotta give you guys all props. You got me into LawTube straight up, currently working with Good Logic on his channel, thumbnails, upcoming videos. Give Good Logic some love. Underrated.
Thank you. Mo Zamboni is now he's been doing my Johnny Depp thumbnails, not the other stuff. So if you see crap and you're like, that's crap. So that's not him, but my Johnny Depp thumbnails he's been doing for me. So
fire! All right, that's awesome, bro. No, it's good, and congratulations on the 50 grand, right? You got 50 grand.
I actually over Shabbos I went to 51. So there you go. The love keeps rolling. Thank you.
Behind AH on her bruised face photos is a calendar. That says January 15th, 11 months before.
I heard that. I heard that. I can't find that anywhere. Some other people have said that photo of the bruises, there's a calendar behind which says that it's from January 2015. I'd love to see that. I'd love to try and find that. I can't. Well, I've tried blowing up different portions of those bruise pictures to see it, and I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, that's you know what? I'm not gonna look for it because it'll take me down the well. Makeup can be applied to hide an injury or create an injury. Do you think Depp's team will bring this up? Her evidence is beyond weak either way. What do you, I don't know. Maybe. Oof.
The cross-examination of Amber Heard's interesting because I agree with the general sentiment that it should be faster than not. But there's so much stuff. It's like, how do you do it in a tight way and cover the ground you need to? And I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, it should be interesting to see what they choose to focus on and what not. But if they stick to their most damning stuff, it could be one hell of a powerful cross.
Oh yeah. It should be it should be a great cross anyway.
Found you from Legal Bites. Thank you. I know there are two courts, one being public opinion. Do you actually think JD has a chance to win in court, or the jury will just say no to both?
I think so at this point because Amber Heard has killed her case. I think Johnny Depp has a chance.
I think he has a chance. I think he has a very strong chance.
I think his chance is better than not. But the fact of the matter is, we all have to admit it's easier for Amber to win because only thing she has to do is show one instance of abuse that's definitive, and I think she wins.
At this point, I'm not even sure if that's enough or not.
Yeah. You think she needs more?
Because of the story she's trying to tell, man, I'm not sure one's gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. She is overshooting a cooch.
Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, this isn't law, but I'm just thinking. You know, is the fact that she sliced his finger and did nasty stuff and basically is caught with it? I mean, does that give him like a light incident that like the jury could
give him a mulligan? Yeah, you get the mulligan or two. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Taps her after that.
Yeah. So you tap me. I'm fine. I've done the same to my wife.
On a similar vein, like the fact that she probably makes several people in that jury want to punch her in the face. So
yeah, there you go. That's right. I'm thinking about some abuse right now.
She is so unlikable.
Man, that's good. That's good funny.
Question: If Ask Witnesses were brought for JD's side, that means their acting is 100% better than AH acting.
Okay. I'm not sure about that one. Hold on, let me pull another one up. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. There we go. Boom.
There's a video on Crime Talk of Amber Heard arguing with Johnny Depp. Full audio clip, 1740 to 1755. Did she use a gun clicks, and put it on a table, threatening Johnny? You call me a liar. Could you please verify if?
Oof. All right, I got to look at that. I never heard that one. Sorry. Oof. Have you guys heard anything like that?
No.
I actually played 3 weeks ago a lengthy conversation between them, which was 45 minutes long on a Saturday night. I went through it, but yeah, I don't know if that's the same clip or the same thing or not.
Oh, matter of fact, we could play the rest of the call here too. We have the rest of the audio from after the finger cut off.
Heard spokesperson, quote, team is so panicked they're fighting to prevent compelling evidence and photos from being introduced, working narrative. By the way, part of the reason that this person thought that Amber Heard was innocent and that Johnny was guilty was that he said when she's accusing him of all these things, he has his head down the whole time like a defeated man.
Yeah.
Have you heard anyone else say that they thought that was indicative of his guilt? That he's like, if I was sitting there, I'd be staring at her. I was like, if you were my client and you were sitting there staring daggers at her, I would tell you, put your freaking head down.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell you. I don't want you staring daggers at her. That makes you look like you're some vicious psycho.
Yeah.
So
exactly. That plays right into their hand.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me put another one up. Thank you so much for reading these, Joe. And it's funny because I lost my place.
My cut's only 12%. Nate Jadalite lady says that's Amber's recording. She knocks over the cup that has the device in it at the end of the video.
Oh, that makes it even worse for her. But the thing is that if like some, I know some people are upset that they're saying that a lot of stuff people are saying about Amber is what they say about most victims. But my rebuttal to that is my argument against Amber. It's like I went into this personally, just looking at this case, as two people who I don't know nor care about. And they're both telling me a story. Johnny Depp's story is, I'm just going to say, it's self-serving for him, her story. But who's else, it's what else do you have behind it? And I think that's the issue that Amber's coming to, because only thing her doctor had behind it was Amber said it. Only thing, and that's all she has. There's never anything else than just I'm saying it because I'm Amber Heard. That's not good enough now. You know what I'm saying?
I think they should incorporate in the cross.
Like, I think she'll get her sister and Rocky.
I'm not sure she'll get her sister because of the deposition issues.
She's not getting her sister?
Because her sister never finished her deposition, so I don't think she gets on the stand.
I'll tell you this much. They don't have the woman whose hand he grabbed. We don't even know her name. How do you not tell us her name of the woman who put her hand on her shoulder and he grabbed it? And do you know how many pounds of pressure it takes to break a human wrist? Like, how do we not have that person coming up there and testifying and saying, yeah, he said that to me. It was kind of creepy. I didn't know what the hell was happening there. I was scared he was going to punch me. Like, that would be amazing testimony to show that there is a very dark side to him, which threatens people with physical violence. That is, that would be so over the top compelling. How we don't even know the name of this person? It's weird.
And the steward, and a lot of, and it's just all right. So one of the more convenient things that she's been doing is one of the security guards died from cancer, and that's the one that happens to always be able to to support her side. Oh, it was Jerry. Oh, Jerry. Really, the only one of the team is that happens to be the one that's unavailable to come testify. Like, all right. So let's say that just happens to be true, right?
I saw one that she gave him cancer. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. Joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
That was a brief over here.
That was a Hillary joke. So there you go.
But let's say that's true. Then I gotta believe that the doctor, her doctor, the nurse, all the security team, the goddamn cops that had nothing to do with them. I gotta believe all these people have come together and just said, we're going to just whatever this woman said, we're going to say the exact opposite because we hate her guts. And we don't even know who she is. That's what she's selling to me. And then she has a good doctor come on and say, believe her because she's a woman. That's just not convincing to me.
Yep.
So, but we'll see. Next super chat.
This is the same day she was with a RNPD with a bottle guy. She also said, I didn't mean to hurt him. This is when she was being held hostage, Fraser guy.
See, it's just, I find that sentence ambiguous, but it's just me.
Which sentence?
About I didn't mean to hurt him. I find that to be ambiguous.
That was from my Beaver's unit.
Did you hear that, Joe? Have you guys heard that?
That what? I didn't mean to hurt him.
The I didn't mean to hurt him stuff.
Well, whenever she says I didn't mean to hurt him, we take that at face value. Whenever he says that, that's a controlling person who is always going to show contrition as part of their control tactic.
I'll say this. Let's flip this around and let's say if Amber was a male and Johnny was a female, and you go to the house and her fingers cut off, or her fingers smashed off, really, right? Because it's smashed off in a weird way, right? He says she cut her own finger off.
I didn't mean to hurt her.
I didn't mean to hurt her, but she cut her own finger off. Kurt, that argument would be laughable in court, right?
That's like
nobody's believing that.
That's like I didn't mean to kill her. Like,
nobody's believing that.
No one's.
But now, if we switch the genders,
you might
and
have
it's a
me on this
believable
one.
story.
You might have me.
Believable story.
Okay, you might have me on this one. I might be being a little bit friendly to her because of sex. So, yeah, maybe I'll have to ponder that one. You might have me.
I convinced you. I convinced you.
You made me think because I'm like, I might have a logical problem here.
You reverse the genders in that scenario. That guy's going to jail.
He's going to jail. Damn right. No,
and rightfully so. By the way, rightfully so.
No, nothing. He's gone. He's done. Finger gone. And what's this? Oh, okay. And she did it to herself. All right, but you're sorry for not doing anything. Okay. Sure, guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, wink, 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 wink.
I'm having a tough time squaring that one in my own mind. That's
we've never heard that one before. We've never heard that one before.
That's worse than I even have black friends. That's terrible. I mean, I heard them.
I do have black friends. I have Nate. Yay.
That's true. I am his friend, baby. No, but Kurt's my brother-in-law. Let's pull out another one of these super chats. $2 from Secret Squirrel. Thank you, Secret Squirrel. Slow mode, please. We slowed it down for you, baby. Secret Squirrel's my mod. It's going through hell tonight. JD told story. Skin graft from side of his hands. Let's listen to that audio one more time because to the end. Let me put that audio back up. So this is Amber Heard's secret recording of what happened after. And I'm talking about after the finger got cut off. And please, you guys can please comment through this reenactment. So this is the raw audio, and someone is going through and done the work of putting the words up for places we can't hear. Here we go.
I wish you fucking understood what you are and who you are and how you fucked me over and make me feel sick of myself.
That's Dr. Kipper. So this is when they got there. So she did this. Look, Ben, she. The nurse freaks out, bro. I love the nurse. She freaks out. I listen to the nurse. She just keeps it 100.
Can you just pause for a second? That whole thing where supposedly she said, "I'm sorry," I don't hear a word from her. I have to be honest.
I didn't hear anything either. But
I mean, it's nice that they typed the words up there, but I don't know that she actually said that there.
Yeah.
Did any of you hear anything?
No.
At the very beginning, I didn't hear anything. I think it starts there, but I didn't hear anything.
Is there more of her actually saying that?
Yeah. There's more. There's more of her actually saying that. You'll hear it.
Fine.
I think that might have just been that might just be the thumbnable, but it sounds like
according to the chat, this clip gets worse if you go past where Nate has it.
Yeah, it does. It's about to get worse.
This is a 36-minute video.
No, we're not going all the way 36 minutes, but we're going maybe another 5 minutes. Where Amber, you're gonna hear her. We go to the part where she closes the door, so it's not the whole thing.
I'm sure Nick did. I just want to hang.
The majority of the blood, Debbie, is downstairs, but I went through that really carefully. Oh, wait, there's
during this period, she's supposedly asleep. She said, "I find him with the rags on his hand." Supposedly she slept through all this. How's she recording it?
You'll see. She's about to show up on. She's about to show up. Yeah, she's talking about him dipping his finger into the paint.
My reason, which may be wrong, should be where all the blood is, and that's down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Let me go give it some Hans and then I'll come back.
I looked at it really carefully. Most Dad's down there. He couldn't see it either. Didn't find it. Oh. All right. Here.
Throw it in the trash if there is.
Mine is right. Edward's gonna take care of himself. We're gonna take care of him.
So you see, she's helping them looking for the fingertip.
So, however, Amber, I think she should be in Los Angeles. And this got run stores. And this is not gonna be 2 days, it's gonna be 2 days.
Somebody needs to fly to her.
Jerry,
She won't touch her.
I mean, I know, I don't mean to invalidate what you're saying, but.
No, but I'm just wondering if there's another person that has the same.
Well, I asked those same questions earlier. And all of them, for that reason, like he's not everything that he's a strong guy.
Yeah, is there a trash that has bandages in it?
It works, man.
You don't mess with the house, man.
Oh, yeah, wait.
What's your yeah. Which I feel like maybe that's one of the first things we can't, we're not getting.
Now, look through this. I looked through it once. I didn't see anything that looked like flesh. That's the thing. But I bet it's in here. He's got this all over. I mean, he's gonna get infected, so that we have some ours.
So I'm assuming you guys never saw this before.
No,
never. Yeah.
What do you think so far?
I don't have much takeaway, honest, because it's mostly them looking for the finger. I mean, it's hard to hear much other than they're trying to talk. He's talking about possibly getting infected and that they're looking for the fingertip. I don't take anything about their story or the incident very much.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
maybe there's more later. I don't know, but
no, there's a little bit more. Yeah, there's more. But now, if we can match this to her trial testimony, we should expect some consistencies, right?
Yeah.
All
you
right.
would think.
So we'll do that next because we have the trial testimony. She's testified about this same thing, so we can match it to this to see if they match or if they're consistent because they're likely not going to match.
Yeah.
How big of a piece of skin are you looking for?
We're looking at this. We're looking at like a third of the and it's that. I mean, he's going to get cellulitis. That loves him. Maybe she should have. I told Daddy to go over there.
Can I give her a 50 haircut?
What?
50 haircut?
Yeah.
300 grams?
Yeah.
She only usually takes 25, you okay with 50?
Oh, the Sarah?
Yeah.
I'd be okay with 100, but here's 50.
Well, that's pretty damning.
The doctor stood up saying, "This is guilt. This is guilt."
Did Dr. Kemper testify?
Yeah, a deposition.
He testified that she made guilt.
No. He testified by deposition.
What about this?
I don't know. Man, that's Jerry, the security guard.
Anything that has to be speak, I'm saying, they can still want to let him talk to Joe. So you know what's going on. She made a quick opinion, she can't trust me.
Yeah, that's the guy she says is on her side, but he's dead. So
convenient.
She wants to go where he is. She knows he's gone. She thinks she's going to do something outside now.
sit down. Listen here.
And this was today, but it was just pain.
All right, so that's that piece of it. So Joe, what do you think?
They have to bring this up on cross, right?
This is actually in evidence. What's his name? Looked it up. Rob looked it up. This is in evidence.
How does she hear that at trial and then try to tell the story that she told? I don't even know what she's thinking.
All right, so this is the story. To be fair, though, this is a story she told on about the same incident. So you literally heard it. This is a story that she told.
The other thing is they brought up in the chat is there's no discussion of her injuries.
Yeah,
no.
She's got two medical professionals there. She's saying I'm all tore up.
Yeah,
but no one's even
Actually,
talking about.
That is a little weird.
That he ripped off her clothes too. So she's essentially there with no clothes on, because that's what she said. She had no clothes.
She's apologetic. She's feigning concern, but nobody is saying, "Hey,
what about your bloody feet? Where about your bloody feet?"
Right.
Yeah,
you try walking barefoot on glass. I mean, there's almost nothing more dangerous than that. That's crazy. Every time you're in a kitchen, everyone's had glass break in their kitchen. You know, you see a kid around who's like barefoot. You're like, oh my God, don't come in here. You freak out and you're like sweeping and sweeping and sweeping. Make sure not one single little, she's walking all over broken glass and she's doing badly a day later. That's crazy. I gotta make
So this is Amber right before. So I scrolled it back a little bit so we can get it. But this is Amber Heard on the stand explaining about what happened. So I played a little bit before, but this is going to go after the security came in. So when she's talking about when she says security came in and the doctor came in, that's when the tape starts. So it's not lined up perfectly, but that's the way it's lined up. So here it is. Share screen. And we can hear that. Now, all that we're doing is just testing her for just her credibility, just seeing if what she's telling us matches up with the tape, what we just heard on tape.
That's what he was using as a paintbrush, even though there was lots of paintbrushes around. And we didn't have any sort of like coherent conversation, as you can imagine. I figured out he was missing a finger. He kind of held it up, and I said, "What did you do? When? Like, what did you do? When?" And I realized in my head that there had been many hours since this probably happened, assuming that that was what happened with the phone. In any case, I knew it had been way too long, that he had this blood, that he was bleeding. And I said, I'm going to call 911 if you don't call Jerry now. I still don't recall which of us called Jerry Judge.
Well, he didn't have fingers, so maybe it was her.
At some point, we went upstairs. He came upstairs, but he went up to the third floor. While
How do you
I was
dial
on
it with
the
one
main
hand?
Floor, the entry level floor. I went to make him a cup of coffee because he was demanding more Red Bull, and I was thinking that's probably not a good idea. I don't know why coffee would be so much better, but in my head it was. I thought maybe, I don't know, sober him up.
She's running around making
I don't know,
coffee with
it
her
helped
bloody
his pain,
feet.
though, and I remember I made him coffee. As soon as I handed it to him, he threw it.
Is this before?
What the fuck you handed me coffee for? I just lost a finger.
Right.
She is the
Shortly after
peach.
that, security.
Is this before or after she removed the bottle that he inserted in her?
Coffee is also
I don't know
like
how long,
Amica
maybe
cream.
a
It
few
helps
seconds or
with
minutes
healing.
went by, not
All right.
long, but
Hold on.
I don't know how long that security arrives.
All right. So
Last time I had a slice in my chest, just had some coffee, man. Great.
So for the rule of completeness, now I played you right before this part, right? So we got all that just in case to make sure we just got any bit of context. So now this part right here is when the recording allegedly starts, when security gets there. So here we go. Is what she's saying here the same thing as what we heard on the audio?
One, shortly after that security arrives, I don't know how long, maybe a few seconds or minutes went by, not long, but they kind of find Johnny, or Johnny finds them walking out of the front door, and they were trying to figure out what was going on. And as they were kind of looking at him and trying to figure out what the heck was going on, Johnny took his penis out of his pants and started trying to pee or peeing outside of the house, saying that he had more messages for me. And this is in front of security. And they kind of
Which they haven't testified to.
Looked at each other and looked at him and kind of.
You heard none of this on the tape.
No, they did. They did talk about how he pulled out
played it off and
they were trying to pull him.
How it looked. It looked
towards
like
the hospital.
A wild animal.
Not that he pulled out his dick.
Back
No, he
into the
did.
house with,
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
With his penis still out of his pants, peeing or trying to pee. That's what he was indicating. And he went to the wall of the house, and I remember him standing at the wall trying to leave me more, saying he had more information for me. He was gonna leave me more more messages, more information.
More information. I can't say it to you. I got to write it out to you.
And
make sure you read this.
Jerry Judge, his security, and one of the nurses.
Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was one of the security people who said it. But there was someone who talked about how
shortly after I remember.
Maybe it wasn't
one of the nurses, and she was trying to give me.
Maybe it wasn't at
drugs
this time. It was a
sedate
different
me.
time that he was peeing.
Trying to give her drugs. She didn't
overruled
say
it.
anything. Thank you. Keep going.
And I just remember crying and rejecting what they were trying to give me and fighting with them about how much they were trying to give me. I felt like I needed to
security team, and they were trying to drug
what was
her.
happening with my life, what was happening with Johnny. I didn't know if he was okay. I didn't know. I actually had no idea, like, could this be something he could die from? If anything, just the drugs and the alcohol.
Always the drugs and the alcohol.
I mean, that alone, I didn't, I just remember being scared and being in this theater room, this dark theater room, and not knowing what the heck was going on. I eventually was taken up to my room by one of the nurses, and I'm sorry, Debbie, and or suggesting I go up to my room. I went up to my room, and I took a quarter of what she was trying to get me to take, and I eventually fell asleep. I came back downstairs.
So that's it. So she eventually fell asleep, and then the next day she came back downstairs. So what do you think, Joe?
Why is she not going to the hospital with him? I don't understand this. This is his wife. He just lost a finger. Why is she going to sleep? This is so weird. Even if she had nothing to do with it. This is so weird.
Brand new wife at that too at this point.
You muted, Mike. Mike, you muted.
Mike, you're muted.
Mike, you're muted.
Mike,
you're muted.
Mike, you're muted. Muted. And can you hear us?
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Do that again.
The pearl clutching with the drugs and alcohol when she's on MDMA, been drinking wine all night. I'm tired of it. She does that time and time again.
Oh my God. Yeah, she does. She does. And it's interesting because I don't know this story. Well, people are saying they want to hear some more of this. You guys want me to play a little bit more of this?
Yeah, I'm doing a stream in like 20 minutes or so. Actually, starting like at 12:05. But I'll stick with you until then. So
starting a midnight stream.
Yeah, that's right. I always Saturday nights. I start very late and I go
hardcore.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty hardcore, bro.
That's what they say. I'm pretty hardcore.
Next super chat. Here we. Oh, let me get some super chat stuff and we'll play some more of that video of that secret recording. Look at Rihanna after she got blanked by. Yes, that's true. That's true. But yeah, Chris Brown's still suffering from that, right?
And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
He's not suffering enough.
Yeah, he's an abusive a-hole. He's a jerk. And if Johnny were anything like that, I would say the same thing about him. It's just all the evidence is just not corroborating that.
Still has a career. He still makes music. People still listen to him.
Yeah, but I do want to also mention that not all domestic abuse survivors will have documentary evidence like pictures and photos. It's it's more actually pretty much likely they may not or will not even have that type of evidence. But I'm saying in this case, when someone is saying I'm taking pictures of injuries because I know that, and then say look at my bloody lip and takes a picture of their arm. Look, somebody kicked me in the back in a plane full of people. And the only best evidence I got for that is somebody on a audio recording. That just doesn't work for me. So, Dr. Kipper states that she's going to get combative, and that Jerry stated that he won't be manipulated. Thoughts? Isn't this when she was running away from JD? I don't know. But she's always combative.
You pointed out the Jerry thing to me. I never connected that, but she seems to be so excited about Jerry. But Jerry has passed away, so it's very convenient that she can always say, "Oh, Jerry was right there," and he could corroborate everything. Too bad he's not here to testify.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's all about Jerry.
It's true.
Yeah.
Nate, I love that you're from New York. Thank you, Alley Cat. I'm a chiropractor from New York, and your accent gave you
a heavy New York accent.
Yes, true. I do have a New York accent. Lots of love from WNY.
That's the thing about me. I don't have at all a New York accent. No one can tell.
Definitely, Alley Cat. Thank you. Just reach out. My email is out there, please. Thank you. And thank you for the generous super chat. Haley says, watching AH talk is like watching a movie with bad acting. Yes, that is pretty bad acting. I finally watched Gone Girl for the first time today, and the parallels are disturbing. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I have to watch it. Everyone's saying that. I've got to watch it now too. Was it watchable?
Oh yeah, it's watchable. Yeah,
I watched it. It's a good movie. Okay.
Except you're going to see a little bit extra of Ben Affleck, and but it is what it is.
I mean, nobody wants that. But okay.
He does like full frontal. He's like
you're probably divorced shortly after finding out he lost $600 million has got to be a coincidence, right?
Oh yeah. She got $7 million.
Listen to the whole Australia tape. She admits she did it and also indicates how she lied. She was the one who started it. That equals she was the one who started it and was high on things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Even about this tape and everything that we've been showing here. If you flip the genders, I don't think this is even an issue. I don't think we debate this at all. But I think the fact that she is a woman is the reason why we're debating it. Super sticker. Thank you guys so much.
Probably.
Have you guys picked up? Team Loso says, have you guys picked up on the mimicking behaviors for Heard and JD's testimony? Like she's replicating parts that that she thought worked for him, i.e., I didn't feel pain or remembering a memory when seeing a pic.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I like the fact that her memory is very convenient. The people who could corroborate a memory are dead, and the people, and yet we don't have anybody else that could corroborate it. All the people who say that things didn't happen are all liars, all out to get her. You know, the ones who are paid for JD are corrupt, and the ones that aren't paid for JD are incompetent. You know, but the only person that we can
Even her
believe
sister
is
I
Amber
found out
Heard.
tonight. You guys
Yeah.
tell me she can't testify. If that's your sister and you think she's a domestic violence victim, you are going to walk on glass, you know, metaphorically, to make sure that you can testify in the trial and help your sister out.
Yeah. You will walk on glass the way Amber Heard does. There you go.
Hey guys, you picked up on a mimicking behavior between.
I read this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're good. Let's go. I got you.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, did she just point at the phone book to pick her lawyers, or would no one else take her case after talking with her?
That's good, yeah.
Someone who loves
lawyer would take that case for the exposure. Any lawyer would take that case.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna get paid and you're going to get exposure.
Yeah. Someone who loves Amber should talk to her lawyers and have them concede for her, and she should seek mental health counseling.
Nope. Interesting.
Gabrielle says recording was taken by Amber. Johnny mentioned it and was objected to because there are third-party voices, can't be played in court. Amber picks up at end. They played the first part in court where it was just her and Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Living Sweetly says, Nate, thank you and good work. Kurt, awesome as usual. Viva Fry, nice to see you here and in Ottawa, and great job on the trucker convoy. Mike, really great to have met you. Joe, you're the coolest out of all of them. I just need to sub to you right now.
Yes, and please sub to these gentlemen. Their links are in if they're not in the description already, they will be at the end of this sentence. And thank you guys so much for stopping by too. I really appreciate it.
It's fun. This is the most fun that a lawyer could ever hope to have.
Yeah, no joke.
Gina Gonzalez says, absolutely, she did it. I have lived through all this, and yes, she did it.
All right. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wonder if there's people out there. Well, no, there are people out there who thinks Amber Heard is telling the truth.
Damagoj Bekic says, Kurt, it's exactly how Curry describes her behavior.
Yep.
A lot of
that's
what she's
true.
describing is fitting with that. She's only proving her correct. Lisa LaSalle says, what? Did you hear anyone say Amber is hot and bloody? Did you hear her say he pummeled me and I'm bleeding? She just cut his finger and feels bad. Yep. I'm running. I'm just waiting for you, bro.
In an East, yeah, I got so much.
Julio says, play his depo about finger, not any changes.
Yeah, we're gonna play it.
He's been very consistent.
Yeah, we're gonna play it.
Having been a part of the case, they actually made exception because my PTSD and fright was so bad, they let me testify via feed from another room. Now I could have never said the things in open court. Electron Star Collapse says, was the Seroquel for the glass in her feet? Nope. I don't know what Seroquel is. Do you?
Yeah,
it's like depression stuff. It's not pain med.
Mayflower 66 says, as a survivor of domestic abuse, I never said, quote, I never meant to hurt you. I forgave too easily, but I didn't take blame for defending myself. That's a good point.
That's because that's usually the abuser that says that. That's usually the abuser.
I mean,
I'm so sorry I hit you.
Hold on. Kurt needs to sim for Amber for a minute.
Time for sympathy.
Seneda says she's walking in heels. She said she was naked, dragged, feet slipping on blood and glass. Her story doesn't lie to her testimony. Honestly, if you hear hear her on the stand, she reminds you, those of you who are really old, that old Farrah Fawcett burning bed thing. If you're old enough to remember that, you think she just got like obliterated by this dude to hear her talk. Ben Samuel says, Kurt's right to not want to read too much into the audio. Imagine myself as a jury. I'd have a hard time getting much out of that.
Thanks.
That's true. And with that said, let's jump back into some more of this wonderful audio so we can see. Let me pull this down so we can see what is going on. Here we go. Oops. No, sorry, wrong audio. I gotta pull this one down.
I gotta tell you, people don't like this week off break, but I think this gives us so much time to break everything down as to where we're at now, because there's enough of her testimony that we could really break it down and compare stuff. Coming to the final couple of weeks here, really feeling like we know everything we could possibly want to know about this case. So I plan on spending all week. I plan on basically doing exactly what Nate's doing here, but just like day after day. I'm going to be going through Depp's testimony, comparing it to her testimony, and comparing it to depositions. That's what I plan on spending. I'm going to be doing that for like 8 hours a day this week, just because
there's so much material.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. This is where we left off at. You sick people. Here we go. Well, let me scroll back so people know exactly where she's just going in the room.
Well, Ben is saying she's just happy. He's happy to go with her. So, you know, although she's told me she's fine, she's holding her. She's like, she said, I trusted you, I don't, because you told Christy to my phone and you found out that. I said, yes, I did. And I said, I'm not going to let you. I told you I'll never let you to go on my job. So, what I'm actually is talking to I'm open down. And then he said, how can you say you see the 2 or 3 hours? I'm saying, no, I still don't let them in my pocket. So they came and said, if she wakes up 2 hours, give her another one, and she wants to sleep through the night. So I decided what to do. I'm hoping she'll
So when she says she slept for a couple of hours, just pause for a second.
I'm pausing it now. Go ahead.
In her testimony, she basically pretends that she was asleep and then wakes up and finds out about this finger being cut off. But that's clearly not what happened. That's clearly from this audio not at all what happened. She knew about the finger before she went to sleep.
Yes.
So that's a flat out lie she told in her testimony. That she basically, as far as the sequence of events, and when you're telling a story over, the sequence of events does not change. You're right that the emotion and inflection and certain details might be left in or left out from one to another, but the sequence does not change. So when she's saying that when she wakes up, she's like, "What happened? What happened to your finger?" That is flat out BS. That never happened. Because she knew when she went to sleep what happened. She probably wasn't even talking to him when she woke up. When she wakes up, he's in the hospital already.
Yeah. Oof. Well, it seems like I think what's the attorney's name? She's gonna have a lot to cross Amber. Camille Vasquez. She's gonna have a lot to cross Amber with. I'm talking about. She's just
my brother. I gotta fly and prep for my show. So
all right, brother. Listen, thank you so much for reading off the super.
We're
chat.
gonna
Thank
see
you
each other.
By.
We're gonna see each other a lot. Yeah, and Mike, get me your email so I can grab you in and also.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. You can get on Twitter and I'll get you the email too.
Great seeing you all. Good logic out.
All right, thanks, Joe. Oof, and another one bites the dust. Let me try to keep up with these super chats and trying to grab them all up. Alita, I need your help.
Yeah,
Yeah, you realize how good she is at this point.
She's good.
Yeah.
She has so much energy, man. She does this every day for so many hours. She has energy reserves. I don't know where they're coming from.
I honestly don't know. I don't know where she gets them. Let me run through some of these bad boys. All right.
How was
here
the
we go.
Megyn Kelly experience?
No, they double booked me. So I think I was a last minute booking because I'm assuming whoever was going to come, whoever they had before, I'm canceled. So I was actually on Viva Stream. They sent me an email. So you get an email. I'm like, who the hell could this be from? So I checked it and I was like, oh, this is actually from the Megyn Kelly people. This is the actual Megyn Kelly people. So I wrote back and it was like, yo, we need you to come on tomorrow at 1:00. If you can, just please let us know. So I was like, cool, I'll come on tomorrow at 1:00 and I'll be there. So then the next day I just, I emailed and text. I was like, yo, just, send me the link or whatever. So 10 minutes before showtime, then she texts me back. She's like, oh, I forgot about you. And I'm like, essentially, I forgot about you. I'm like, you forgot about me.
Right.
And then they had booked someone else. So I'm like, oh, so you double booked me. She's like, well, it really wasn't a double booking, but it was a double booking. I'm booked and you forgot about me. You booked somebody else. It's a double booking. Right. But at that point, it was like, it was like 10 minutes, 10 minutes before showtime. So it was, what you gonna do? So yeah. But they said they'll bring me. They're gonna rebook me for some other time. But
that's still really cool.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool to get the invite, but just the execution and follow through. I wish I could have made, but it is what
it'll happen.
Yeah. I think it was just bad luck this time, but yeah. And it was, and the good thing is like some people started getting conspiratorial about because Megyn Kelly, she's I think she believes what's her name? Amber. So I think that's so people was like, well, maybe because she's kind of pro Amber. But I'm like, I don't think that's usually not the way she rolls, because she had it, like, for instance, she has people who she hates on the show, like what's his name? Alex Jones. She had Alex Jones on her show.
Yeah.
So hey, what's up? What's going on, Rob? We were just talking about you.
All right, a little bit nervous. A little nervous. How's the mic? Does it work? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I'll turn you down. Don't worry about it. What's going on, man?
Oh man, today turned into a marathon.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, Hogue got on at Hogue started a live stream at 8 a.m. Right? You were on there early.
Oh, I was on it. I was on at 8. Yeah.
It went for 10 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
god.
God.
It went for 10 hours, and Alita bailed on him. Alita bailed. I wouldn't say.
Is he still live over there?
I told you he was texting me, but Alita bailed like midway through, and I was like, I can't leave him alone to read all these damn super chats. There was like 1 million, so I was like, okay, I'll stay on. Stayed through the entire end of the thing until his wife dragged him away, and was like, yep, awesome. We finished all the super chats though. Oh my god.
Yeah, I still have more from last time. I want to actually get through. I might just have to have another stream for those old ones, or I might have to switch soon, because I feel bad because the people from who did the last ones, I haven't gotten to those yet, and I still got like 185 of these. So but it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
It's a fantastic problem.
Kurt, it's exactly how Curry described the behavior. Sorry, Kurt. Kurt is gone. I think Kurt was falling asleep on us.
Kurt's here, just off camera, because he's a little bit tired and doesn't want his sorry, tired-looking ass on camera.
Oh, what did you hear anyone say? Amber is hot and bloody. Oh, did I read that right? What did you hear anyone say? Amber was hot and bloody. No, I did. I never heard anybody say that. Did you hear her say she was pummeled me, and I don't know how I'm reading this wrong. Do you hear her say he pummeled me and I am bleeding? She just cut his finger and feels bad. I don't know. I kind of chopped that up, but I'm not sure.
Well, it's a little dicey the way it was written, but yeah, the point is it doesn't corroborate anything she's saying about her injuries. It's just her feeling bad about the fact that she cut him.
Yeah. But the thing is that is it an admission? Who really knows? Joe thought that he's like, he got pretty close. But the fact of the matter is, just the only comparing, as you saw, Jerry was there at the end. That's the guy that she keeps saying was the good guy, the one that knows all the stuff that would prove her case. But unfortunately, he's gone. And Rob, earlier we mentioned how the recording, the Australia recording, was in evidence, and you had looked it up.
Only part of it. So when I looked it up, it looked like they had introduced. I think it was. I forget the number. I wrote it down.
Like three. It was like 380 or 390A or something like that.
They introduced it 380A. So there's only a section of it that's in evidence right now. So we'll see how much more of it comes in.
Hey Nate, people are saying you're going over the same super chats you went over 10 minutes ago.
What?
I'm just telling you what chat's saying. I don't know anything. I'm tired.
All right. I got this at 10:18. It might be true. Let me see.
Voice of Kurt. So speaketh Kurt.
No, these aren't. But let me look at this. Let me look at them. Let me look. All right. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes. All right. So maybe I am. All right. I thought I was deleting them. So this one, what did you? Yes. All right. I'm going to catch up. So how did I not get? All right. So this got to be now. Hey guys, love seeing you all you guys together. Have you guys talked a little about the little celebration JD's legal team did when AH testified about the Kate Moss? Did you guys see that? What do you guys think about that? The little hand pump that he did.
Every other question when I was on Hogue earlier. Yeah, it was that little fist bump was awesome. So I think they opened the door to get some Kate Moss stuff in. I think they actually opened the door even further to get Amber's prior domestic violence stuff in. So we'll see.
Yeah. Go listen to the conversation between Amber, A&F, and I'm assuming that's and Johnny on Incredibly Average. That's what we were just listening to, posted on January. That's exactly what we were listening to the after Australia finger cut event. But
good on them. If they didn't caption it, you couldn't hear half that stuff. But it really did make it nice when you could read it.
Yeah.
The captions are right.
Assuming, yes, yeah. That's always a big assumption too, though. Those captions are right. I'm just putting these up because these aren't. I'm trying to get through. We got. If somebody's got to build a better mousetrap for these super chats, because it's hard being the one person, because you got to catch them when they come in and then star them, and then if you miss them, you get backed up. And
watching Hogue struggle with this morning was like the bee's knees. Honestly, you would see like he just got just all of a sudden realizing that this was what he was doing to Alita when Alita was running the stream, just letting the super chat stack up.
And they come, and you want to try to at least get everybody's. Is this the recording in evidence though? And if not, can they introduce it to impeach? Yes, part of the recording is in evidence, 380A. But 380 has to be introduced fully. Viva is triggered, so this is older stuff. Because he was triggered. So this is 1022. Viva still here. Kurt, if Amber had the damage to her face and body, as she claims, they would have talked about it. What do you think, Kurt?
I mean, one would think so. Yeah, that aspect of it did pass my attention when I was first listening to it. So I appreciate people bringing it to my attention. Yeah, I mean, the nurse is her nurse, is it not?
Yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, her nurse, but hired by Johnny.
Yeah, but one would think that her nurse might be slightly concerned about the bleeding and the bashing, and not so much apparently. So that's odd.
All right. I think I lost some super chats, but here we go. Story of the 90s. Depp pushed Kate Moss downstairs. JD's lawyers are happy it was mentioned because they might be able to bring up AH's prior arrest for domestic violence. What do you think?
And Kate Moss's statement that never happened.
Yes. I think that'd be even more powerful. She definitely damn sure implied it. Now that she brought up past acts with Kate Moss, Kate Moss, he can now bring up her actual DV case. But that I'm not sure if that's the way that goes. So, because I'm not sure. Does bringing up Kate Moss open the door to her propensity evidence, her DV complaint?
Yep, I argued it earlier. I think it does. Even to her state of mind. So you're saying that prior acts of domestic violence, in your mind, would put you at risk or at fear that domestic violence would be committed against you? Meaning your knowledge of Kate Moss's domestic violence would have an influence on your fear of whether he was going to hit you? Have you ever had a history of domestic violence that might affect his state of mind?
That's a good argument. That's a damn good argument. Yeah. I gotta see. That's good. That's good. I don't know what I'd do with that. Conspiracy theory. The talented Mr. Ripley claims are put out by Amber Heard and her PR team. It is easy to make anyone repeating them look stupid. Here we go. Jackson Cave. For those mad about Uncivil's arguments, no one plays devil's advocate like Kurt. That is so true. See them guess the other party's arguments verbatim. You will never be more ready for an argument than letting Kurt analyze the other side. That's Kurt. But now Kurt is on our side. I've convinced Kurt that he was on the wrong side. Right, Kurt? I think Kurt is.
Yes. And also I might be pro-woman sexist because, as you pointed out, if the genders were reversed and hearing the same audio, somehow I doubt I'd be doing the same leaps of logic to give the benefit of the doubt. So, my desire to protect women and such may be somewhat influencing my analysis. So I will have to ponder on this and reevaluate.
He's soul searching.
See, that's when you know you're a good lawyer. You can convince other lawyers on stream to change its position. No, but it's funny because Kurt always, it's always me changing my mind. So thank you, Kurt. Let's see. If the story was identical, it could be suspicious. If the stories were similar, that would make sense. But when the events change heavily, that's even more suspicious, in my opinion. Yes. Thank you, Spicy. I agree. Because we were talking earlier how, the stories don't have to be identical, the stories she told before as to the stories she's telling now, but there has to be some consistency within those stories. And generally, you're looking for things that should be consistent across stories, or things like timeline. Your timeline should be consistent. Places, things of that nature. Some of the finer details can be missing, but you don't really see radical shifts in fine detail too. Like not being able to remember some things. If I can't remember something in 2016, it's going to be even less like I can remember it in 2022. And the farther you are away from an event, the less details you're likely to remember from the event. But that's not true for in all instances. But generally, that's true. The older the event, the less likely you remember it. But in this instance, it seems like has so many more it's fresher now than it was 6 years ago, right after it happened. So I don't know. It's weird. When you compare what she's saying in her deposition to what she's saying now, the amount of information she knows now is just so much more, more refined.
Certainly suggests she's fabricating it and that she's just refined it near the time she needed to do it.
Yeah.
That's why it's fresher, because since she's making it up, she just really made it up with this level of specificity now because there's a trial.
Yeah.
That's what it appears like.
Let me see. He was one of the examples we were playing earlier that they had. Where's it at?
Have you done December 15th yet?
No. She haven't testified about it December 15th.
Okay. So I did a psycho D. Yes, she did.
Sister down the stairs.
She
was attempting to break us up.
This was the sister. So this is the story that she gave initially under oath, but in the UK trial.
I'm gonna bail. I'm beat. I'll see
all
you
right,
guys
I'm
later.
civil.
Love.
See you, Kurt.
Good night,
down
Kurt.
The stairs. She was attempting to break us up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did. but I know I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on the top of a flight of stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be. And I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done. I acted defensively in her life. I saw her standing on top of a flight of stairs and trying to interrupt a fight in between him and I. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her. But I would have done anything. I would have done anything to prevent her from being pushed down a flight of stairs.
So that's the initial story.
Yeah.
And
How's your bullshit meter?
Yeah. Now this is the story she just told during testimony. Same event.
I just remember this brief struggle we had before we kind of break away. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him. Square in the face. He didn't push my sister down the stairs.
So those are the two different stories. Now go ahead, Rob.
Isn't that demonstrably false? Because don't we have her actual testifying to that where she's trying to get in the bathroom door incident?
Yes, and actually, she testified right before that she had slapped Johnny in the face, like a couple of months ago. Before that, before the incident she's talking about now, a couple of months before that, she testified just in that same day that she had slapped Johnny in the face. But maybe she doesn't consider that abuse. Here's that clip, because that clip is here too.
Because I didn't catch that the first time when we heard that live, that she said under oath that was the first time that she ever hit him.
Now this is what she said this is what she said about an event 2 months before you just heard that other
fridge.
Clip.
We're kind of moving in that area, and at some point I'm in his face, and I don't know if he had let go of my neck or loosened my grip, but I remember slapping him across the face, screaming at him, screaming at me.
So this would have actually been the first time she hit him, but I think she may have forgot she said this and then said the other thing that 2 hours later, saying that was the first time.
Never use absolutes on the stand.
Yeah, because this is an earlier event. So, but we all knew Amber was going to have some, and I think that two things. That this is going to be an excellent cross examination. I assume, because you can go there's so much, just such a wealth of material out there. You can go anywhere with this thing.
The coolest thing about it is like transcripts at the very end. They do that key where you can look at words. The words I always go to is I always look for first, last, only, never. And I go to the transcript exactly where that was testified to. And that's where I start.
You never do this. This is the first time you ever did this. I was doing, I was prosecuting Johns up here. And that was always, you always heard that. This was my first time. Everybody's first time.
Everybody's first time.
No, and it's interesting because I honestly never had anybody say yeah, man, this is what I do. Like, oh yeah, everybody's just, even people with multiple convictions, like, this is like your fourth time. Like, nah, this is my first time, bro. First time.
Despite my 6 priors, I swear this is
Yeah.
my first time.
my first time with you. My first time with you. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes a difference. That makes
All
a
right.
difference.
I got to tap out. Thank you very much, Nate.
Thank
Nice
you,
to see
Mike.
again, Rob.
See you, Mike.
We'll be around.
Let me try to go through. Listen, I'm just gonna try to run through some of these super chats. I'm probably gonna be here for a couple of hours. So if you're happy to stay, but I want to hold you hostage for being the last man standing. And I know you were over there for like 8 hours.
I'll stick here for a little bit. Something comes to mind, shoot me a question.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going down the rabbit hole. All right, so let's go. I think we have like almost 200 of these, but we're gonna knock them off. If the story was, oh yeah, so we just read this one. Boom. Go next. $20 from Alex B. You got to see, you got to see all the way to the end of the audio where you hear take the tap before leaving the property for LA, and by the end he takes no responsibility. I'm assuming she means she takes no responsibility. Thank you, Alex B. Wise chick. Thanks for showing the Australia audio. It paints a different pic. I noticed on Thursday she added explain the audio. I think she did. Yes. Thank you. What could this mean for future SUD plus minus DV cases? What do you think this means for future DV cases? I'm assuming and assault cases in this manner.
I'm going to take this as a positive. People think that, as far as Johnny Depp is concerned, he came forward, he's proven his case. I think guys now have a little bit more understanding that it's not something to be ashamed of if you are that victim. So, and hopefully the ladies in the world realize that this is a weird case. Don't stop coming forward with your cases. These are important things. We need to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to disagree because I think victims of sexual assault, if someone is faking it and you can prove it, I think they also want that too, because it's just like the Jussie Smollett. It's going to hurt real victims because someone's trying to take advantage of a situation like this, and all my alarm bells are ringing off with Amber Heard. I just I honestly believe nothing this woman says. It's that bad. So, but I think just like Rob said, hopefully this will not deter any true victims from coming forward. Blurry Light says Johnny's security guard testified that he was between JD and AH. I remember that, not Whitney, and AH reached around him and clocked JD. I know. I think that was the testimony, but her testimonies, you can impeach her with her own testimony. Her testimony's changed. This has changed. It's all just up in the air. So. Miss Avi says the audio tape in context. Doctor says, I think she did it. Amber shortly thereafter, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt him. Did you remember hearing that on the audio?
I don't, but now I can see why that audio gets dicey. Because if the doctor's statement is in there and says, I think she did it, I'm having real trouble with that getting into evidence.
Yeah, I think that's in there too. Yeah, he did say she did it. He did say, I think she did it. And look what she did. She looks guilty. Like he said those words. Well, he said something similar to that. Did I do all of this to the floor? Context does matter. Yes, no, 100%, Miss Avi. Thank you for the super chat. $5 from Sandra. Hello. Do you compare her testimony to security's testimony on the fishing of Whitney on Cross? Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Hello. Do you compare her testimony versus security's testimony on the pushing of Whitney on Cross?
I think she's saying on the stand, while she's on the stand, how do you use the security guard's testimony to impeach Amber Heard? And basically what you do is you just say, you heard the security guard testify that he was standing between the two of you, but the story you came up with is that you were right in front of that situation. You just, you demonstrate to the jury that, look, you have testimony by someone who's contrary.
Yeah. And in this case, if the security guard's saying it was him versus her, then that definitely would matter. But this whole self-defense claim with the sister, she's trying to paint him as a super monster, because she's saying he's trying to push her down the stairs. Now she's saying he took a swing at her sister, and that's the reason why she had to punch him, because he was going to put, and that punch essentially saved her sister's life. Like that's a real stretch, guys. Like I think if anybody else said this in any other context, it'd be like, this is a real stretch. She punched him to stop him from pushing her sister down the stairs. That's her story. That's hard to put together in my mind.
Yep.
The babysitter she beat up, right? Oh yeah, I think she did. Was it a babysitter? I'm not sure.
Baby sister, yeah. Whitney.
I bet that if she doesn't win, she will blame it on the system controlled by men taking responsibility because her mental health made her do it. Yeah, I think she got that Me Too doctor too. The doctor was straight up Me Too 100%. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, but I think that she was just way too biased. That her not doctor, her expert was way too biased. Tara says her lawyer had to remind her of her story a couple of times. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was kind of funny.
when you tell the truth, the story doesn't change, and you don't need to embellish.
What, if anything, did you remember about Blood on the Wall?
Oh yeah. There was. Isn't the whole tape after she was SA? I can't imagine speaking like this after my violent and assault. Interesting, but you know what? I can't deal. People react differently to situations, stress, environments. It's really difficult to try to just say every person who goes through a particular situation should act the same. You know what I mean? There's going to be variations, even though you try to look for those variations and to try to figure out if someone's is credible or not. But still, it's just hard to say, I would act like this, or I expect somebody to act like this, and I expect somebody to act like this. It just doesn't usually work out that way. There's actually been cases, I forget, there's been cases where people, are in shock and act really normal, but they just, it's like they just don't know what they're doing. So Courtney says, I really enjoy the way Kurt views and applies the law. It's hard to keep an open mind and argue for someone after deciding you don't believe them. That's true. But Kurt changed his mind now, which is interesting at the end. Do you think Amber Heard's team will run out of time? What do you think? They're going to run out of time, or do they have enough time?
No, they have enough. And the thing is, they've got someone tracking that.
Yeah, I would suppose so. Which is another element to it that we don't have up here. This is during the recording, and Kipper and the nurse. The nurse was great too. The nurse is like, she's like, I can't believe, wow, look at this. She just let it all go. The nurse was like, not even just holding it back. Like, this is crazy right now. They mentioned they formally gave her 25 of Seroquel, and the debate giving her more. Seroquel is an antipsychotic. So what is she being treated for? Psychotic episodes?
Possibly a symptom of bipolar disorder. I mean, we're not going to speculate on why or what she was being treated for.
Yeah. Will they bring up that the make-up she claimed to use to cover up her bruises in their opening argument never came out until December 2017? I don't know, because again, it could just be for demonstrative. She could be using the makeup as makeup, right? I don't know.
Elaine
brand
also
matters.
said this. That was the thing.
This
that was
brand?
the problem. Yeah, Elaine held it up and said this. She held it up and said this compact.
Yeah,
that one. That's tough.
And yeah, because this compact didn't exist until 2017, so she couldn't have used this. Yeah. I think they could go after it. Yeah, it's tough. That was a mistake. Yeah, Elaine. Attention. I want to bring up the following point: respect others' opinions does not mean bring untrue to your own. Kurt's opinions and expertise matter. Please be respectful. We were respectful to Kurt, no?
to everybody, to everybody making comments like this on this, as far as LawTube is concerned, I've never found a place where people can disagree more respectfully. All the discussion is welcome. Everyone is still friends at the end of the day. Yeah, we know when we push too far, we apologize, or we also know that these are opinions and we all have different opinions.
Yeah, 100%. But I'll ask him. But yeah, but Kurt, he seemed fine, and yeah, we usually joke around with each other all the time. So yeah, but thank you for the super chat, and thank you for at least trying. Crystal says AH goes on rants forward and back in time. So Elaine tries to desperately bring her back in time. This is why it is confusing. Yes, and again, but I think she's just embellishing so much. That being dragged on the floor at glass, all that embellishment is unnecessary. And I think it's really hurting her case in a negative way. Because now it's really an all or nothing. Either you believe all the nonsense or you don't believe anything, versus she can give you some nuggets that you can hold on to. This, I think the embellishment doesn't help her. I think it hurts her. But I think in her mind, if she makes everything worse, it's more likely they'll believe something. You know what I mean? My beaver unit. I like that. Real talk. Percent of jury not seeing something about this case during the break. It's going to be tough, but I hope they can do it. I mean, if Amish, if Amish, I can understand. I get ethics, curious jurors' thoughts. It's possible, but I'm assuming they take their oath seriously. What about you?
I hope so. Yeah, you just have to hope and pray, to be honest.
You haven't finished the Australia tape. You can't decide yet. We were just looking at that piece of it to compare to a testimony. So
the Australia tape is like 6 hours. Yeah, we're not going to finish it.
But we wanted to look at that little piece, because that little piece kind of matched up to what she was testifying, of course. So we can check that out. And the AHUK Depot, also called Johnny JD a baby. She said that they always argue over what a punch/hit is and stuff. That is 100% gaslighting. Yes. What is a punch? I punched you. I don't know what a punch is. Quick question. Do you think Amber Heard is playing crazy? She is not credible. I think most of us have come to that. Yeah. I don't believe she's credible. Serious question. Does LawTube ever sleep?
Gee. Apparently not.
That's why we're still here with you talking.
Yeah,
you gotta be tired.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Kind of.
How many subscribers you're up to? Yeah. Did you crack 4? Because you were like on a super hot streak right now.
Let's see. 493.
Pit Law and Lumber in the chat. Let's get on the 5. We call it the Fabulous 5 on the late night stream. This is how Howard Stern started, in the middle of the night. But I wish I do not have a voice for radio. Brawler Power Maximum. I love the name. It's not just that she can't back grandioso claims. It's that plus she was sneakily recording things and couldn't get the Punisher beatdowns. She was sneakily recording things. That's true. The claims are grandioso. I don't get this and couldn't get those Punisher beatdowns. I think she was giving the Punisher beatdown, to be honest with you. What do you think, Mike? I called you Mike. I'm like
it's fine. Take
super
it easy.
late. Yeah. What do you think?
She was recording. She was trying to catch him and stuff. I think that she was delivering pretty good.
Yeah. I think Johnny's on his way to winning this case. This case is looking really good for him right now. Oh, she makes everything. She makes her living from her face and body. She would seek medical treatment just to make sure that she keeps her looks. Also, she switches moods and looks for bi in the jurors constantly. Yeah, she does. She does, and it seems like she's looking for that emotional manipulation, because that's the reason why you make the story so insidious.
Yep. And scanning the jury while she says it too. That's a big problem for me. When the more you go in that flowery language and you're scanning the jury while you're using the flowery language.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, she's really trying to manipulate them. Why can't the psych specialists use their notes? Well, they can't read from their notes. It can refresh your recollection. You can look at the notes, and then it can refresh your recollection, and you can speak, but you can't read from them because that'll be hearsay. Those notes are out-of-court statements. There are so many reasons not to trust AH, but we haven't heard much about JD's heavily impaired behavior except from AH, have we? Well, we haven't really heard anything from AH's side. We just really heard two witnesses, really, and half testimony from two witnesses. So hopefully it'll get good. Hopefully she will be able to bring those receipts. I don't believe so, but maybe she will. What do you think?
Yeah. We'll
What's
see.
up, Rob? You think she's bringing those receipts?
She's written a lot of checks. That's a lot, man. If I'm an attorney on her side, and I have thought about all the things that she has now kind of put before me to get in evidence, I'm worried.
Yeah, this is definitely a worrying thing. Do televised trials really help the public's understanding of the outcome? Should it be allowed more? I think it did with Rittenhouse. I think Rittenhouse is one of those few trials where having it open, people were able to look to see what was going on, because that's one of the craziest things about that case is most people who watched the trial came to all the same conclusion. Liberals, conservatives, no matter who you were, if you watched the trial, everybody came to the same conclusion: Rittenhouse was innocent. If you just watched the news, those people came to the opposite conclusion, that he was guilty. That shows you the difference from what actually happened in the trial from how the trial was being reported. Dr. Hughes, I believe her testimony. Kurt, love you, man, but you're missing it here. Cheers. One point, she recorded this on her phone without anybody knowing. So how about Jenny have taken her phone from her? I don't know who Jenny is. I don't know. Do you remember who Jenny is?
No, and I don't remember which incident. The thing is, she recorded so many times, we could be talking about any number of incidents.
That's true too. And it shows you too that it's like they knew something was coming up, because that's the reason why they're recording each other like this too. It's not like you just don't start recording your spouse and personal, without you thinking you may need this later. Just like when the security guard said, you know what, when she punched you, we're going to start taking pictures of these injuries because something's going to happen. So I think they knew something was going to happen. This was coming down, but they thought that him paying her off the $7 million would have squashed it, but that didn't though. She came back with this crap. Really, really appreciate Uncivil Law's view. Her testimony of AU was actually a lot closer to the tape, as I remembered. Rather have this case super tight against her. That's true. But we're looking at a preponderance. Kurt, this is from you. Kurt, this shows you how far back we are, right?
Yeah, man.
This happened to me in court. I got too close and the plaintiff didn't have time for rebuttal. I remember you said this yesterday in the divorce case.
Yep. Judge gave a courtesy 4 minutes, which isn't, I mean, you want to make a rebuttal case in 4 minutes? Good luck.
That must have been great. Was that a winner, or how'd it turn out?
That was a winner. Divorce cases, man, it's divorce cases. It's never really a win or loss. It's like how many points in the win column you get.
Mm-hmm. That is nice. I am fine with 38 years of experience. None of what you described in such graphic detail. The photos of the bottles indicates that alone. 3 days after this, she is doing ballet. Yes. I'm going to start speed reading through these like Legal Bites does. New super chats coming in. I'm going to have to put them in abeyance and probably going to read them later, because I'm so backed up and I want to just at least try to get to something closer to the time that it is now. because I'm reading super chats from 11 o'clock right now. So, what? Who else is on the witness list for AH? The witness list is a bomb, from what I'm understanding, right?
Yeah, it's massive.
Like huge.
It's massive. Rocky, Io Tillett, her sister. It's just massive.
Kurt's story, but the sister can't testify because she didn't finish her depo, right?
We will see. There's no ruling on that.
Oh, all right. Kurt, sorry for being vague the other day. I was referring to your May 4th stream, 1920, in which you looked like you were beating yourself up for having difficulty reading Amber. I can send stickers. Oh, please pull up the James Corden tape. Oh, we did. I would have to. Thank you. Aussie Audio admits she did MDMA hallucinogens during the alleged assault, denied on stand ever doing random MDMA and Oz. Yes, she. If you're talking about her contradictions and things, it will be here all night. Her doctor said she knew exactly what she was doing. Of course, she did. Do you think Amber Heard is trying to invoke Fatty Arbuckle? You know who Fatty Arbuckle is?
I don't have the reference. No clue.
Maybe play sniff clip again. It's hilarious. She's sniffing the.
Did you hear what we were talking about on that channel?
What would you guys think?
You're in either three camps. You're either onion, Coke, or picking a booger.
Oh.
If you have to choose between those three, which one are you going for?
I say picking a booger because onion can smell. It smells hard. Yeah. I'll say she's picking a booger.
Yeah. I think whatever option is not cocaine, but man, that thing looks funny.
It does look funny though. If it was cocaine, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's so weird.
That's why. Yeah. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt by saying she's picking a booger, but
yeah, it just looks so weird.
JD loses $600 million, then Amber files for divorce, claims she wants nothing, and promises to donate money to children to prove it. Yes, that's all in evidence. Does not do so. Yes, that hurts credibility. Moves on to dating Elon Musk. Connect the dots. Oh no, the dots are not being connected. Boom. How much medications is Amber on? One email has her taking, I'm not even sure, Nortonin. It looks like neurotonin. And now Seroquel, which is give for mood disorders such as bipolar disorder. Yes, but I believe she's already been diagnosed with that. $15 super chat. Thank you for the $15 sticker. As a female, I can tell you anything out inside. As a female, I can tell you anything out inside, you feel it. Understand. And if it's broken glass, I'm not even, it's going to be a little, I'm assuming you're definitely going to feel it.
Yep.
And I think you would definitely want to have it looked at, as you just said. Yes.
Yep.
Men know this is right. Yes. But that story makes no sense either, because at the point he's supposedly doing that, his finger is cut off. So it's like,
none of that story makes sense.
It's just so wild. And a piece says, how can you turn these super hats into tax write-offs? All I do is spend money on questions for various channels. I do not know, but that's a good question.
Yep.
That's a CPA question.
We do not give tax advice on this channel.
Lord Lover, drop a link so I can test the new mic setup.
How's it working? Is it better? Is it better than the AirPods? I mean, yeah.
This is really good. This is really good. What mic is that you got?
The blue something.
Oh, Blue Yeti? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Your mic sounds better than mine. It's fantastic. Blue Yeti. I love the Blue Yeti. It's a great mic, and it's simple to use too. That's another thing I like. And
that was what I needed. Too. Simple.
Yeah. Feeny, because you just plug and play. And the good thing too is that even plugs up in your phone, because when I'm on vacation or something, I plug it into the phone and it works. It's just as good there too. Why don't you play the security guard who testified Whitney was nowhere near by because he was between Johnny and Amber. Yes, that's also going to be a problem too for her, I believe. Behind her in her bruised face photo is a calendar that says January 5th. Oh, we somebody else pointed this out earlier. Make sure this is it. These are earlier ones. All right, so these are not early. These are earlier ones. Let me pull these down. Sorry, guys. I am getting rid of the earlier ones again. I don't know what StreamYard is doing. I'm unstarring them, but it's like it's putting them back on my list. Even the just literally put the earliest ones back on my list. So I'm talking. These are ones like from the beginning of when I first started. All right, so now we're back. Damn. All right. The calendar photo is of AH trial exhibits on Fairfax. This. Oh, the calendar photo. She's saying that's where the exhibit is at. I'm going to check that out. Thank you. I'm going to check it out. Nate sent you a picture of. All right, Anna P. You sent me the picture. I'm actually going to have to check this out. Is there any circumstances that would allow for extended audio? Australia. It clearly contradicts her testimony. I think it does in some places, but it's on the chat. If you just type in the Google search the Australian audio, everybody's been playing it. If JD and AH were the opposite genders, she would be in jail a long time ago. Yes, but the one thing I also want to make sure it's clear about the Australian audio is that she said that he ripped off all her clothes. And that was one of the issues. That she had ripped off all the clothes, and then everybody came in the room. But at no point is everybody saying like, "Hey, she's naked." There's nothing on it, but it's audio though, so you don't know if she didn't have any clothes on. They've got that dressed. She actually never even says she got dressed, but so it just doesn't make any sense. If you just got all your clothes ripped off, then at no point do you say, I had to go upstairs and put this on or do something because I was naked. She just kind of continues the story, and on the audio it doesn't sound like she got any clothes ripped off either, but I don't know. Watch the deposition on 1A, and she's hostile and markedly rude, and her lawyers are also really rude.
I think that's Io Tillett, right? That's Io Tillett, right? That's the Amber Heard's friend. Yes, lawyers are usually rude during depots. Not really that rude. The depo of Amber Heard is probably one of the rudest things I've heard lawyers talking to each other. They were nasty to each other.
They were nasty, and yeah. They were really, really nasty. But again, and they had a judge in there too, though. They had a judge ruling on objections. So that was a crazy depo. Where did you get the video? Where did you get that video, and how do you know the date? I forget which video. We played a couple of videos.
Totally Average, I think.
Well, that video. Audio. The Australia audio was actually in evidence. That's actually in evidence. So that's how I kind of figured that date from that video. If everybody's agreeing, that's the date. It's after the Australian incident, and then you can hear them looking for the finger after the Australian on if you want to just match the time. So if that's the one he's talking about. Good point. Some regular ones I pulled up saying Viva looks. So this one says talking about Viva. All right, yes, but the time is still good. Hello from Brazil. Please check the Umbrella Guy's channel. He shows all of her lies. And yes, Umbrella Guy does. And Umbrella Guys, yes. Yep. Thank you.
Speaking of someone in your chat, there was a super chat that was asking for the link to my new channel.
Oh,
I'm still working on a video.
It's not inside there?
I threw it in the private for you.
Hold on, let me put it.
Because we're still working on finalizing that name.
Where is? Oh, there it is. Got it.
But I should have that December 15th, 2015 bed debunk video done sometime early next week.
Oh, you're almost at $5,000. Look at this. Look, the quickest 5,000 ever. What's going on? What are they doing? No, it's fantastic, bro. Let me just throw you right here. All right. And your link is in the They didn't let me link you the last time. Let's see.
YouTube is probably confused.
Yeah, I think it's the I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna just put the link to the channel in there instead because it's not letting me. Yeah, I see what the problem is. So it's still treating you as if you have less than 1,000 subs.
Yeah, because YouTube doesn't realize what's happening.
Yeah.
It's funny because as of last night, this time I think was when it first started happening.
Okay. All right. Because I'm like, why can't I link you? This is ridiculous. It's right here. Let me see if I can. Let me try this way. Nope, it will not let me. So I'm just gonna put your. Come on. All right, so your channel is here, but I gotta put it differently than the other guys so we can see it. Law and lumber. Here we go. And am I still live? Yes. And so your link is in the description. So if guys, Rob's link is in the description as of right now. So everyone else, you'll see the at Kurt, at Uncivil Law, at whatever. You'll see Law and Lumber and the actual link. If you click the link, it takes you right to the channel.
Thank you, brother.
And soon it will just be. Soon you'll just have the name too. You'll join the ranks of the name.
We're gonna get that bed debunk video up, and then we'll just see where we go from there.
That's probably what they're waiting to monetize you. He had to put something up. We can't just monetize the goddamn name. This is a video sharing platform.
Why? This is a lot of work talking and giving advice like this.
That's true. I think I'm bored everybody out of here. But what do you got? And what's everybody doing up at 12:47? Just listen to me read super chats. But I'm going to read them. I'm back to work, people. All right. So where was this one at? So let me do this. Let me delete all the ones I've just read and read the next one. All right, here we go. 8H brought up Moss, old JD girlfriend. Does JD team bring up Trisha, the abuse record? That's what Rob thinks is possible, and Rob actually has a pretty good argument. It's propensity, but it's which is hard to get in. But I think you make an argument.
She raised it, and she raised it as far as her mental impression. So I think I'm getting that in.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep out. Yeah, or justify keeping out. She said the woman's name later. It was a Southern double name. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. What woman? She said the woman's name later. It was. I'm thinking you're talking about Debbie from the video, but I'm not sure. Dr. Nurse did not know recording, no mention Amber Heard hurt. Yes, that was another big thing in that recording. The fact that she was saying that she was just violently beat up by Johnny, but you got a doctor, nurse, and a security team, and nobody even mentions that she has any injuries. Matter of fact, she's actually talking about the finger too, looking for the finger too. You would suspect if she was beat up, somebody would have mentioned it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just weird all the way around. It's so much to be desired. Remember, so every super chat that's coming in after 12:30, I'm gonna have to hold in advance. What is the significance of Samantha McMillan's witness statement? Heard's professional hairstylist claims she never saw any injuries or marks of the day of Corden talk show. Yes, but again, I'm surprised Johnny
I read both. Yeah, I read both of these witness statements today, actually, in looking this up. So there was the makeup stylist who issued a statement, and the hairstylist who issued a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Makeup stylist said that she saw bruising in her original statement, but the hairstylist said in her statement, after seeing Amber Heard just hours later with the makeup stylist in her presence, said that Amber Heard was wearing no makeup, that she was within very close proximity to Amber Heard, and it was good light, and she saw no bruising or anything.
Oh, wow. So the hairstylist says she saw nothing, no bruising, no anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the makeup stylist says she saw bruising.
Yep.
This is always confusing.
Yep.
This is so confusing. Who do you trust, the makeup stylist or the hairstylist? Yeah. This is just like, who do you trust? What doctor? It's like the battle of the stylists now. As an abuse victim myself, again, I'm sorry to hear that. You do not want to make eye contact with your abuser. It's so traumatic. JD is the victim. Wow. That would make sense too. And she's not friends with Rocky anymore, presumably after Amber slapped Rocky in the face. This is Nikofefi. Alicia Ramirez says, since the first count is still under advisement, when retweet comes into evidence, can a judge make a ruling? The judge said that Rottenborn that tweet can be republication if she added something. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That little she added something wasn't something that the judge actually said. The judge actually said that she was taken under advisement. The republication was an argument that she was considering. Yes, at the close of Amber's evidence, they can renew their motion to strike. They can basically say, look, now that we have presented our evidence, they still can't survive this claim. And then it's up to Johnny's lawyers again to argue, look, even with Amber's best evidence, we still live. This claim goes to the jury.
Yeah. Yeah. This one says, thank you, Alicia, for the super chat. Kaleli Rocks. Is that Kaleli or Kelly? Is it K? How much I'm pronouncing it? I know it's Kel Elel. How would you pronounce it? Kaleli? I really lost respect for the ACLU. Yeah, I kind of feel you, girl. They kind of took a hit in my book too, and I still don't understand how you pick an ambassador for DV that had previous DV charge. $3.5 million help you get off of that, though, right? We're gonna give you $3.5 million. You're the DV, changes things. Do you think they'll? Oh, this is from Firebird. Do you think they'll do anything for her lying under oath? No. What do you
Everybody
think?
lies. Yeah. Everybody lies.
Providing all the proof going around and her not sticking to her original stories. Well, again, stories don't have to be identical, but she's not been sticking to it. Yeah. That's I don't know. It's a good point, but some of these things would technically be lies under oath, but it'd still be hard. It's going to be hard to prosecute, and what prosecutors going to take it, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of messiness in that one. Saw someone say AH is the Carol Baskin of 2022. Carol Baskin. What do you think about Carol Baskin? Do you think she the husband was eaten by the tigers, as they say?
I mean, I think that husband's not coming up or resurfacing from anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to say who may have fed the husband to the tigers, but
did you hear when she came around here when Eric Henley had her on the show?
No, but I need to watch that, man. I gotta watch that. That's
Nick confronted her.
I found out that's so funny.
Yeah, and Nick confronted her with it. Your husband you fed your husband the tigers, throwing up $30 super chats. And she sees them.
Something else, man.
Oh my God. Yeah. It got pretty rough that day. But Eric got the interview. It was a good interview though. But yeah, I don't think her husband is coming back. Amber and Johnny started because they said he flew and he was down in South America somewhere. Well, that's what she said. Barb says Amber and Johnny started the recording, but at the end, Amber gets the phone. Sounds like it was taped somewhere. She gets it while talking to Jay Judge. And not like, oh, I found my phone. And not like, oh, I found my phone. Next super chat. Raj Hazar. I mean, am I saying that right? Raj. I'm sorry if I'm killing it.
Razar.
Razar. Maybe it's
Razar.
Razar. It's a beautiful look. It's a beautiful looking name. I can't pronounce it though. I'd like to know how it's pronounced. The narrative of the story changes. Talking about slapping JD by saying, "Oh, I don't know if he had let go of my neck or loosen my grip. Yeah, she is doing it. She's changing tenses a lot.
It's crazy.
But the thing is that yeah, I don't know, because usually when you change tenses, that it shows that you're being deceptive. But some people do it because they don't know what words you use. So it's, I don't know. But it's crazy. She is definitely changing tenses a lot. I received 17.22 Botox injections. Oh, wow. In my neck and face every 3 months for facial paralysis.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
It works miracles. My skin is like Amber Heard's. The faint bruises looks like mine. I am not going to try to pronounce that. Gave me Amica gel for the healing. Also, Amica cream is good for healing, huh? Not bad. Huh. You heard, I don't know if this is a play on word, you heard the phone calls of telling him she doesn't know she can stop hitting him, but he needs to stay and fight for their relationship regardless. Yeah, that was a lot of stuff she said. But I think the thing that gets her really is the tape of her saying straight up, nobody's going to believe you. Yeah, tell the jury, and who's going to believe you. I think that's gold right there. That's just like, you lost your case. That's hard to overcome. Amber's daughter's name is, I'm not even sure, the 2 O's. Please.
I don't know, but it looks like oh nah to me.
Oh nah. I don't know. Oh nah.
Oh nah, hell nah.
JD started the recording. All right, so we've gotten Amber, JD, the legal team. We got a lot of people.
Australia, Australia is a watch for me. Australia's out. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Except a man lost a finger.
Yep.
Except a man lost a finger. That's the only thing we really do know. Let Rob in. He's in the chat. When the hell was this set? Oh, we're at 11. We're still at 11:26. Damn. Time left is plaintiffs 25 for the plaintiffs. So how does the plaintiff have more time than the defense?
I'm not surprised by that. I mean, that. Like, the thing is, when you're cross-examining, you're hitting fewer points, but it takes you longer to get there.
You get to your points, yeah. The news picture has a calendar in the background on the fridge. All right, I gotta look for this news picture because everybody keeps bringing it up. Close the end. OG recording is her taking drugs. I'm not sure we're talking
about drugs.
Oh, talking. Oh, close to the end of the OG recording is her talking drugs. Yeah, I saw that. So taking. The doctor wants her to fly home when she can't manipulate. Kind of strange thing to say, by the way. Did she do cocaine on the stand the other day? We just talked about it. It was 3. It was a booger. It was cocaine, or was it an onion? I don't know how you get an onion. Stinks a lot, so I'm not too sure of an onion. Cocaine is a hell of a thing to bring inside a case where you can lose $100 million. If you're in there sniffing cocaine, complaining that your abusive ex-husband was coked out all the time and he beat you up because he was coked out, and you're sitting on the stand, literally on the stand using coke. That's a hell of a risk to take. So I don't know if she's that dumb. What do you think, Rob?
There's no way she's that dumb. It's funny. The video's funny.
Oh, the video's funny. Yeah. It can convince her. It probably can convince the judge to give a warrant on it, and she's sniffing something. Just heard the whole tape. Disregard my first. Still appreciates Uncivil's views though. So walking out broken glass. Walking on broken glass. Yes.
Walking on broken glass.
Ah. Play all the Australia audio. There's more. Oh no, we know there's more. There's a lot though. There's a lot. We get. Did you see? We can barely struggle to get through these super chats. Amber Heard also insinuated that there is a clean up job because Elaine suggested the scene wasn't like that. Wasn't like what the pics Ben took. The pics Ben took pics of. All right. Like lack of lots of glass, bloody floors, and scene she described. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let me see. Let me reread this. I feel like I checked this up so much. Amber Heard also insinuated that there was a cleanup job because Elaine suggested the scene. Yes, that's true. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. But Elaine's been kind of all over the place. I think Elaine's just kind of shooting a lot of stuff around. And she has a pretty brash way of doing it. But again, I think that's that's homegrown though. Sometimes that plays well in a local jury. And if she's local counsel, then I would be a little bit more worried that it would play better in that unique scenario. Wait, did she admit she chopped off his finger? She tried. She was getting there, but
I mean, her testimony was that she was asleep. Like her testimony was that she was passed out.
Oh yeah, it was. So let me see how many super chats I have left, because I might have to put these in the thing because tomorrow it's Mother's Day. I didn't know I was going to go this long.
You have to perform. You got a job to do tomorrow.
Yeah. I got the wife and the kids. You got anything planned for tomorrow?
Nada. Make a phone call to my mom. Crawfish boil across the street at my neighbor's house, and then working on some actual law stuff.
Ah, you lucky man. I'm gonna have to. So I got super chats here. Let me look how many I have from last time. So I got super chats from last time. Let me make sure I get a copy from where I'm ending here. So I'm ending at you, Crystal, because I have to prepare for tomorrow. So Crystal, I'm gonna take a screenshot of where I'm ending at. It's Crystal, and you're at 11:39. You sent your super chat. So that means tomorrow, I'm actually going to turn off super chats, I think, for most of the stream tomorrow. So I can just read the ones that I already have, because I was supposed to read old super chats on this one, but Viva came in and that threw that off because we weren't able to get the super chats until later. Yep. So, Rob, did you make the 5K yet? You should have easily made 5K by now. If you're not 5K, I'm like 5K. Crying. 5K. Oh, all right. That's what I'm talking about.
Your chat showed up, man. This is crazy.
Where you at now?
5. It's 5 on the nose.
Boom. There it is. And not a video to be held on the channel. That's amazing.
Come, man.
Let me just go in. All right, so chat, I'm going to be ending this stream in like 5 minutes. Rob, tell them what you do and where to find you. Law and Lumber. You got to remember to push Law and Lumber, baby.
Yep. I'm a domestic relations litigation attorney, and I also practice consumer bankruptcy law. And in the off time, I spend time in here making stuff because that gives me peace of mind. So the channel is going to be all about breaking down cases, domestic relations cases, the Amber Heard trial, and then also building some cool stuff in the shop.
Yes. So please don't forget, go check them out. If you guys haven't had it, link is in the description. And we have a lot of super chats still to go, people. But I am definitely going to read them. We've not gotten away from yet. We're going to do another stream where I'm just answering super chats. I got to pull in a leader because you guys sent me way too many. Because I want to answer each one of the last ones. And I want to answer this one. And I said I was going to do it, so I'm not going to shit the can. So I've taken the Crystal is the last one I've read. So I have the rest of them now. And what's the other one? And the ones from yesterday. So I'm probably going to try to see if I could do that tomorrow. And then Monday, we are back on with some more stuff. So for Rob, listen, people, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Rob, for joining me. Thank you for all the law tubers that joined me. And you guys got to get some sleep because it's 1 o'clock East Coast time and I got to get some rest. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.